thundershower activity. Very humid day. You saw Jeremy Guthrie during the anthem wiping off his forehead there, as it is humid and a bit hazy to start the ball game. Leading it off, here's Marco Scutaro, and Scutaro will take the pitch up high for a ball. Scutaro, one of the leaders in base on balls on the season. In fact, he is #1 in the American League in that department. So Marco Scutaro will take a lot of pitches if you'll give them to him, and he takes the strike 1-1.
Yeah, and Scutaro, watching Guthrie's fastball outside, that's one thing that he's going to have to do, is to be able to throw strikes at this team and take them out of that patient approach.
Scutaro with a 1-ball-1-strike count, 2 for 13 lifetime off Guthrie. Takes it to right. Nick Markakis near the line. Not going to get it. Fair ball. Going to try for 2. No. Markakis with a good throw into second base. Even though it gets away, it'll hold Scutaro, but he's on with a leadoff single.
Nick Markakis does a great job of keeping Scutaro to a single. Raimo, Jones, and Markakis, that's been the alignment since Nolan Reimold has come up from the minor leagues. Moore is Sturis, Robertson up from third base to first base. The former Blue Jay, Greg Zaun, is behind the plate calling pitches for Jeremy Guthrie today. Guthrie last faced this Blue Jay team in Toronto on the 3rd of May. He pitched an 8-inning complete game, but lost at the hands of Roy Halladay.
Here is Aaron Hill now. Hill's got an 8-game hit streak going coming into the ball game, and Guthrie's got to work out of the stretch right away. And a shot that's caught as Torres. Well, there's a big play early in the ball game, holding Scutaro and getting it out.
Boy, it sure is. What great reactions before you ever get tested. The first time you get a chance to make a play on a ball, it's a bullet headed to center field. As Sturis dives, pops to his feet quickly. He has really changed the complexion of this defense dramatically at shortstop. Consistent. He made a few errors early in the season. Everybody started scratching their heads saying, is this the guy we really want? Believe me, this is the guy you really want.
Great play right there, and a big one. It'll be taken by Rios for a ball. Rios coming in hitting at .260 home run power. He's got 10 doubles, 5 homers, 21 RBIs. He is 6 for 20 with a home run off Guthrie. Great off-speed delivery right there. Guthrie gave him that off-speed curveball.
And Gary, a defensive play like that behind you early in the game can really boost your confidence as a pitcher. Thinking, well, they're out there to help me out, and yeah, I've given up 2 shots, but I've got 1 out and a chance to get a double play.
Rios takes that one high in the air, not deep. Jones, and he's got it, and Rios is retired. And there are 2 down here in the first inning. It is the kind of play we said before that just changes the whole complexion, first of the inning, and secondly, maybe the complexion of the game.
No question about it, especially for a starter like Jeremy Guthrie, who has scuffled a little bit early in the game. But Cesar Asturis made that play on the dive. Guthrie makes a good pitch to Rios, and all of a sudden there's 2 outs. And the impact of that leadoff single has been minimized.
Yep. Here is Vernon Wells hitting .262, 5 homers and 21 RBIs. 17 walks, 18 strikeouts, throw over, and Scutaro not going very far off the bag, goes back standing in. 2 down. Guthrie has lost to Toronto once this season. He has won 1 and lost 3 lifetime against the Jays. Loss came in Toronto back on May 3rd. A 4-3 ball game. It's his only complete game of the season. A loss. 8 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits. Guthrie, the long look over. Scutaro goes. Here's the throw, and into center field. Jones will back it up in time to hold the runner. So Scutaro will get the stolen base, puts himself in scoring position with 2 down.
Good job by Adam Jones to back up the throw. You could see the tailing motion on that ball, and it takes it away from second. Scutaro has his eye on the Orioles center fielder. Greg Zaun got on the side of that baseball and threw that 2-seam fastball down to second. He had a shot at the base runner. He knows he let one get away.
That is the 4th stolen base and 6 chances for Scutaro. This is not a running Toronto team. They are next to last in the league in stolen bases. Only Oakland has fewer. Wells fouls it back. And now we are in the situation that we were talking about before. In this 6-game hit streak, this ball club has an incredible 143 batting average with runners in scoring position. In the first 18 days of May, they were hitting .305 with runners in scoring position. They just have not been able to get anybody home. And there's a base hit into the gap. And that will bring around Scudero, and Wells has got a 2-out RBI. And that's what Toronto's been lacking. And they get the 1-0 lead.
That's the first RBI for Vernon Wells in about 3 weeks. 17 games coming into this situation here. He gets a 1-2 fastball. We had mentioned that he hit well against Jeremy Guthrie. Scudero with the steal gets himself into scoring position, and the Jays are out early.
So a first inning run, and Wells with the RBI is 22nd of the year. Now Lynn stands in, toss over. Wells trying to get back to the bag, almost tripped over there. Adam Lynn hitting .295, 7 home runs and 35 runs batted in. Lynn is off to a great start. He is 8th in RBIs in the American League. He's the designated hitter for this ball club. And boy, for Toronto to get a first inning runner in scoring position base hit from Wells, that picks about 18 things up on one base hit. There's a towering pop up third base side. Mora coming over and will not have a play.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have averaged under 4 runs a game on this road trip, and as you mentioned, Gary, they're not getting anything in the clutch situations, and to get out in front early in a place where they've always played well. They have played very well in this ballpark, Cito Gaston's club. 14-3 since June of 2008 against the Orioles, and they feel like they can snap this streak here, and they're out early on in the first inning.
Toronto swept the 3-game set this year in Toronto. That is on the outside corner for a strike, and the count will go to 1-2 on Lynn. Guthrie comes in with opponents hitting .275 off him. The right-handers have done more damage at .291 than the left-handers at .259. Jeremy's given up 11 home runs, 6 to left-handers. That one grounded to second base. Brian Roberts in front of it, and will make the play. 1 run, couple of hits, 1 left on. We'll check the Orioles lineup on this Memorial Day when we come back to Camden Yards. That. Take a look at the starting lineup for the O's, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Roberts, Jones, and Markakis as good a top as there is in baseball. Mora, Huff, Wigginton, Reimold, Zahn, and Isturis. Adam Jones, Yahoo.
Big numbers for Adam Jones. PNC scatter report for Brian Talent. Fastball, slider, changeup. He throws a lot of backdoor breaking balls to the right-handed hitters. That's the pitch that's off the plate on the other side of the plate, drops back on the outside corner, and he dominates right-handed pitcher, better than any left-hander in the game.
Amazing number. The delivery is outside to Brian Roberts. Brian has not had a hit against Toronto this year. In the 3-game series in Toronto, he went 0 for 14. You know, Brian's trying to get one off the Jays here and get things started for the O's. 31-year-old left-hander who's a fill-in, if you will, but because of injuries has become a constant fill-in It's his 8th start and 12th appearance.
Yeah, and he's pitched very well. You see the opponent's batting average at 204, and he's logged some innings. And that's what they needed. They needed somebody to step up with all of the injuries to Casey Jansen and Dustin McGowan from a year ago. Sean Markham still out, but they hope to get him back. And then Jesse Litch has also been out. It's basically been Roy Halladay and a bunch of fill-ins, but they've held their own.
Yeah, they sure have. Talent with a 2-1 count. Brian Roberts laid on a sinker outside, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brian. Brian's first in runs coming into today's play as the Orioles top of the order continues to put up big time numbers as they have throughout the first part of this 09 season. Orioles down early in the ball game 1-0. Roberts has scored 39 runs. Takes that one down the line, right field into the corner. That's a fair ball up and off the fair pole, and a leadoff double for Brian Roberts, and he's got a hit against the Jays.
14th double of the season sets the table for Adam Jones, and the top of this order has been dynamic. Roberts, Jones, and Markakis have really done a number on opposing pitchers. They put pressure on you from the get-go. Roberts starts things off here this afternoon. If you look at their numbers, they're all among the leaders offensively. 39 runs scored for Roberts. They are 1, 2, and 3 in the league in that department, and they have the ability to get things going early, just as Brian Roberts has done here against Brian Talent.
And that will bring up Jones. Adams just all over the leaderboard in the American League, and he gets an RBI chance right here with a runner at second base. Talent will take a spin and look back.
Well, they know Brian Roberts very well, and his ability to steal third base is well documented. And in that situation there, the left-hander Talent didn't even look at Brian Roberts. He just spun around.
This is a really good matchup. You got a left-hander who's got the best average against right-handed batters, and you got Jones, who's got the best average against right-handers facing the left-hander. So we'll see what Jones can do with it here. He is 4th in average in the league, 2nd in slugging, 2nd in runs. His .393 batting average here at Camden Yards is the 5th best home average in the American League. And as we said, .395 off right-handers is the best number in the league. And he shows bunt as he had Scott Rowland way back at third. Took the pitch 1-1.
See, this is another aspect of the maturity of Adam Jones. He showed bunt, just wanted to see what was going on. If it had been a pitch that he could have bunted, he might have pushed it up the first base side. But he now understands he doesn't have to hit every strike he sees. He can hit with 2 strikes. He can let Brian steal third. He's become very patient and selective because of the spot in the lineup.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Talent's delivery to him. He off the end of the bat. And he is off left-handers, .256 for an average. 2 of his 10 home runs have come off the southpaws. And if you're going to have it go one way or the other early in your career, I would think this is the way you want it to go, because you're going to hit left-handers.
Yeah, eventually you're going to hit them, and you're going to hit them well. I would just as soon have Adam hit the right-handers the way he's doing now, because the majority of the pitchers first are right-handed, and the majority of the pitches that you're going to hit are those pitches on the outer 3/4 of the plate.
Yep. Roberts being held by Scudero, the shortstop, even though you have a right-handed batter up. So Jones has got a pretty big hole between short and third. 1-2. Long look back, Talent. Jones up the middle, and he's got a base hit. Roberts had to get a late start. He'll stay at third as Wells will get it in. And the Orioles first and third, nobody out.
Adam Jones has hit a bullet every time he swings the bat for about the last 10 days. He wore out New York pitching, literally and figuratively, and here he gets a pitch up in the zone with 2 strikes. Brian has to hold his ground at shortstop to make sure that's safely in center field, and he moves over to third. But Adam Jones knocked Java Chamberlain out of the game. He hit Phil Koch the previous night in New York with a line drive off the chest, and he wore out Nationals pitchers.
Well, the Orioles, they have been big in the first inning all season long in run scoring. And now they get another shot, trailing 1-0, 2 on, nobody out against Talent. Remember, just a .204 batting average against him, the 3rd lowest in the league. And the Orioles have got the first 2 on, and here's Nick Markakis. Way inside. That'll back him off a little bit. Nick Tua among those leaders in about every category. He's 4th in RBIs, 3rd in runs. His home batting average is just behind Adam Jones. He's a .375 hitter here at Camden Yards. That is the 6th best home average in the American League. Markakis down to first, handled, Overbay, 1, relay back to him, and they get the double play. The game is tied as Roberts will score. There'll be no RBI. Markakis heading into the double play, 3-6-3.
3-6-3 is a tough double play, especially when you've got speed guys on the bases. But Overbay, a very good defender at first base, makes an easy play of it. Markakis is not happy, hit it sharply on the ground, but he ties the game up at 1-1 here in the first.
Only the 3rd time Markakis has grounded into a double play this year. So the bases are clear. Here is Melvin Mora. Melvin. Take the pitch outside for a ball. He has long had the big numbers against left-handers in particular. A slow start against the lefties this year, hitting .241. It's about 20 points higher against the right-handers so far in the season. A couple of home runs, 15 RBIs. For Bryant Talbot, he gets a big defensive play just as Guthrie got behind him in the first inning. And that will miss down low, 2-0.
For Mora, as we mentioned with Adam Jones, a similar situation. You see mostly right-handers, so you really get a lot more reps against the right-handers. And then if you do go up against a tough lefty, it's an adjustment for you.
Towards short, Scudero. And that will retire the side, but the Orioles get the run back. 1 run, couple of hits, nobody left on base after 1. Ball game tied. Jeremy Guthrie gets to the mound faster than any other pitcher in the American League. He runs out of the dugout as soon as the opposing inning is over, takes his warm-ups, and then will wait. Because you only get as many as a home plate umpire will give you, and they usually don't give you any extras.
8 pitches, that's it. That's all you get in between innings. So when you throw that 8th pitch, you are done.
Scott Rowland. Rowland has upped his average to .311 now. He's one of the hot bats in this lineup. .317 over his last 17 games. He's got a 4-game hit streak coming into this ball game.
Scotty Rowland is healthy again, and he's dealt with shoulder problems so consistently the last several years. He's not really been able to swing the bat as effectively as he is now. Still playing a great Gold Glove third base, and I don't know that there's a better thrower from third base than Scott Rowland in all of baseball.
That one to third. Melvin Moore, a nice pick. 360. Got him. And there's a veteran who knew who was running and took his time to get set and make the throw.
Well, that's a good call. Absolutely what happened, Gary. And Melvin gets hit the short hopper. Watch how he takes his time. One hop to the glove side. Momentum spins him around 360. Looks at the ball, gets the four-seam grip, and fires a strike. He knows he's got Scott rolling, and the fact that the ball was hit to him so sharply, he's got extra time.
One down, and here's Lyle Overbay. He too has a 4-game hit streak going. Overbay, 5 homers, 9 doubles among the extra base hits. And he's got 10 RBIs over the last 11 games that he's been involved in. During the 4-game hit streak, he has gone 6 for 12. So even though this ball club's on a 6-game losing streak, their offense, but for the runner in scoring position number, has been there. They've picked up the hits. They just haven't been able to convert the guys on base to runs.
Yeah, and that's the big problem. You can throw up double-digit hits, but you're not coming up with key hits in run scoring situations. You're going to not be able to score many runs, and that's been the case on this trip.
2-1 deliveries taken inside, very close, but not quite. Tim Timmons has the plate. Jeff Kellogg, Rob Drake, and Mark Wagner are the umpires working the ball game today. Ground ball towards second. Brian Roberts, the easy 2-hopper. 2 down.
Well, we talk about Jeremy Guthrie and his 4-pitch approach. This is his bread and butter. That's the 4-seam fastball, thrown with better control. This is a curveball, lots of pressure exerted on that middle finger across the long seam. The slider is thrown somewhat like a football with a spiraling action that takes the break away from the right-handers. And because he throws 4-seam fastballs, he throws a 4-seam changeup as well, so it replicates the same spin as his fastball.
Couple of quick outs here in the 2nd inning. Barajas, the catcher. He'll take it down low for a ball. Barajas, 3 hits, 11 at bats, lifetime off Guthrie. He too has upped his average to that .302 mark, as he's been hitting the baseball pretty well. 1-0 delivery to him. Barajas had a double clutch on that one and fouls it back. .341 average over the last 26 games for Barajas, the catcher. So Guthrie working through a lineup here where everybody's been hitting the ball. And he's got 2 quick outs. He'd like to be able to get Barajas and leave Bautista, the number 9 hitter, to start the next inning. Not this time. That'll be a base hit into left field. Reimold going over to get it. Barajas will make the turn. Here's Reimold's throw, and skips by. Might have been a close play if the ball had been catchable at second by Brian Roberts. Aubrey Huff was backing it up, and Barajas is in with a 2-bagger.
Yeah,
Brian is hurt.
Yeah, he sure is. The catcher slid hard into second. Brian was sizing up the situation. He was looking at Barajas hanging out at the bag. Reimold's got a strong arm and gets over to it. Knows that the catcher is running. They still have a play. Brian looks at Barajas right now and then just kind of hangs out. And you can see the big catcher slides into the left ankle of Brian Roberts. If Brian can come up with a short hop, they got a play on him, and that's why he's hanging out there. And you can see the collision when Roberts planted that left foot there right in front of the bag. It's a big guy sliding into your left knee and ankle.
Roberts will try and walk it off.
I mean, that's just the perils of playing second base, trying to get it out. Brian hanging out. Big Rod Barajas with the slide. Nothing malicious about it whatsoever. He just kind of slid to the outside where Brian was trying to make a tough play.
So Barajas continues hot. He's got 12 doubles. Lind leads the ball club with 15, but they're a good doubles ball club. Rios, Rowland, Scudero, Wells, all are double digits in doubles.
Now they play in a good doubles ballpark. A lot of room in the power alley. It's a big ballpark, and it might cost you a few home runs, but it's going to get you a lot of doubles and triples.
So Bautista, Jose Bautista, playing in left field, the number 9 hitter with a runner at second base. Bautista takes a strike on the outside corner. 2 down, 1-1 ball game. And a 1-1 count on Bautista at second base. Barajas. Bautista trying to get one of those big RBIs at the bottom part of the order. And that is in there for a strike from Guthrie, who gets a hit on the count 1-2. Guthrie will look back to second. In the dirt. Good stop made by Zahn. That'll hold the runner at second base. 2 down. Of course, he's going on contact, but he's getting a pretty good lead out there. The Orioles aren't trying to hold him close. Brian Roberts, the second baseman, would bear the responsibility, but he's well off the bag. Two and two. Guthrie the check. Got him. Outside corner called. Strike 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Guthrie gets his first K. Roberts coming off. Looks all right. Caught the corner. 1-1.
Everybody, over the weekend in honor of Memorial Day, several members of the Orioles organization visited Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C., and John T-Bone Shelby spoke about the experience.
Just gave me a great more deal of respect for what our men and women do overseas, and I pray for them every day. I always have, and I'll always honor and respect them.
And John has to have respect for his former teammate Al Bunbury, who was the last Oriole to serve in active duty in Vietnam. 1969, he was called to duty. He served as a second lieutenant in the Army for 2 years. He earned the Bronze Star. He was a platoon leader, and then he returned back home to his baseball career. So to Mr. Bunbury, we thank you for your service. Gary?
Al from the Army, thanks. On this day, noting some of those who gave. It is interesting to note that in World War I, World War II, and Korea, the number of Major League Baseball players who volunteered to go was a very large percentage, especially, of course, for World War II, where if they hadn't volunteered, they probably would have been called in anyway. But the number of Major League players who have participated in any of the recent wars who have volunteered to go is pretty small.
Yeah, and obviously Chris Tillman, football player from the St. Louis, Arizona Cardinals, is the one most recently served his country.
Right into the shift. Hill at second base gets it. And Huff is retired. One away here in the second inning. Orioles Jays will continue their 3-game series tomorrow night. Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All upper reserve seats tomorrow night are only $8. And Wednesday, you can stretch out your holiday weekend with another afternoon game. The O's and Jays close out the series Wednesday at 1:35. Tickets start as low as $9. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. A Wednesday day game. Ty Wigginton standing in. Brian Tallett's delivery. And thank goodness Buck told me Wednesday was a day game, or I would have been showing up here about 4 o'clock wondering why the heck the game was in the 7th inning.
Yeah, the only reason I told you was I found out this morning myself.
Good job. Good work on a holiday. 1-0 delivery is foul back.
This is such a great ballpark for day games, and it's in the Inner Harbor. So many things going on. Families can come out, and you can walk down the Inner Harbor. And on a holiday, of course, everybody is winding down a great weekend and coming out to a ballpark on a beautiful afternoon, and hopefully Wednesday will be the same.
Nothing wrong with the day game. The delivery swung on a miss. Talent took something off that pitch, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Ty Wigginton has not had a lot of luck against the lefties, batting just .214 off lefties and only a point higher, .215 off righties.
There's the Exmo example of how Wigginton was out in front of it.
Got some success right there. Base hit into center field. Wigginton is on with a 1-out single as Wells gets it back in. Well, the Orioles have their third hit off the left-hander.
Ty Wigginton is starting to get things together. Had a good series up in New York. Came off the bench, got a big pinch hit, double the first pinch hit of the season for the Orioles, and right there he stayed on that fastball and took it right back up the middle.
Now Nolan Reimold will stand in. He continues to get his playing time in left field or as a DH. It's his 10th start in left field. And the pitch to him is a strike taken. Reimold, he was promised if he came up he'd play, and that's exactly what's happening. 256, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 1 double. Wigginton on at first base, not a base stealer. Overbay holding the bag. Reimold will foul that one back as he got jammed.
You know, Gary, managers are funny about that. They put a player in the lineup and he does well. They have a tendency to keep him in the lineup.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really funny how that works out. If you do well, you hustle, you make all the plays and go deep a couple of times, chances are you're going to get to play.
Left field is open. It's a spot to be had. 0-2 count. Tallett's delivery way inside. There will be a pitcher called up for tomorrow's game. That has not yet been announced by the Orioles. It'll be announced after the ball game who that call-up pitcher will be. The Orioles have Luke Scott, a 2-game rehab assignment at Class A starting today. Lou Montanez is here and able to hit, apparently. Buck talked with Andy about that this morning, but Montanez is going to have surgery on the torn ligament in his right thumb sometime.
Yeah, and it's probably more concerned about throwing than it is hitting. Obviously, if he's available to hit, he can still get a grip on the baseball bat.
Swung on and missed. Good pitch down and away. Reimold not happy with that at bat, and they're at 2 down. First strikeout for Talent.
Well, let's take a look at the approach by Brian Talent to the young hitter. Fastball for strike 1, fouls off another fastball, 0-2. Missed inside with a good fastball, and then the changeup down and away. Off-speed pitch, and that's part of the scouting report. It makes him so effective against right-handers as he keeps everything on the outside part of the plate and then changes speeds with that changeup.
Brought to you by Northrop Grumman, the information systems powerhouse. And the pitch to Zahn is taken outside, 2 away. Wigginton on at first base. Zahn, his job here, get a base hit. Wigginton will be off and running. Batting at .210, extra base hits, 8 doubles, a home run, and 3 RBIs. Off-speed delivery, breaking ball will miss outside.
Oftentimes, when you're hitting against pitchers that you've caught in the past, you can outthink yourself. Well, I know what he does to most right-handers. He's probably going to do that to me, and by the time you sort out your answer, it's strike 1.
Yeah. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Zahn on a check swing, it's a strike. Talent against the Orioles has just an 0-1 record. His last start was August of 06. It came in Toronto. He was non-decisioned in a game Toronto won by a score of 8-1. So the Oriole hitters have had some experience against him, but not much. 2-ball, 1 strike count. A veteran of a lot of minor league baseball, getting chances at the major league on and off and call-up situations. His career record's only 9 wins and 10 losses, and he's 31 years old, so pretty much tells you he has bounced around. But he has been a lifesaver for the Jays. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Zahn will take that away in a 3-ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, Brian Talent was a number 2 pick of the Indians out of LSU in 2000. In fact, he was their best pitcher on a college championship team. He pitched the decisive game at the College World Series in Omaha.
Talent looking over to first. Wigginton not going anywhere. Zahn takes it outside. There's a big walk. That'll get his Taurus up to the plate here in the second inning. 2 on, 2 down. First walk surrendered by Talent in the ballgame. And his Taurus will get the RBI opportunity. For his Taurus, 387 off left-handers. 200 points higher than he hits against right-handers. So this at bat favors him if a hitter can ever be favored, since going 1 for 3 is a tremendous output. And that is taken outside for a ball.
We have talked about the possibilities of him abandoning switch hitting and just hitting from the right side. And he said he tried it last year at the insistence of the hitting coach Hal McRae in St. Louis. And after a couple of games, he shook his head and said, nope, that's not going to work.
He'll foul that one away. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Interesting numbers. Left-handed pitchers against right-handed batters in a minimum of 100 at bats. Look at the dominance of Brian Talent. Better than Santana, better than Duke, Barry Zito, and Clayton Kershaw. Pretty impressive company there, and he has been the most dominant of those left-handed pitchers against right-handed batters.
Don't have to go any further than number 2 to realize how good that is.
Number 2 qualifies you for everything.
Check swing, and it's a strike. As Taurus wants to know if he went around on it, talking to the home plate umpire Tim Timmons, and it looked like Timmons said he did.
Watch the barrel of the bat. Boy, he didn't come close. That's why his Taurus, who rarely says anything, turned around to say, called strike, sir?
Sir? 1 ball, 2 strike count. And a ground ball towards the hole, knocked down Overbay. Pitcher covering, can't get there, but realizes Wigginton's at third and holds him. Overbay may have saved a run. That ball wasn't going to go very far into the outfield, and the bases are loaded on the infield hit.
And boy, Talent, who falls off to the third base side of the mound, is late breaking, and the recovery time. Anytime any ground balls hit on the right side of the Blue Jays infield, you have to anticipate they're going to make a play. Overbay's got tremendous range, so does Aaron Hill. And if they hit a ground ball on that right side, chances are they're going to catch it. But he was late getting to the bag. Astures has an infield hit, and they turn the lineup over to a guy that's already hit a double in this game.
So Brian Roberts will stand in with the bases loaded. The Orioles and Jays are tied at 1-1 here in the second inning. For Roberts this season, with the sacks full, he's gone 1 for 3. Orioles have had a couple of grand slams, Nick Markakis and Melvin Mora. Base hit right here, and the Orioles will have the lead back. Sacks full and 2 down. Talent out of the stretch. Roberts takes the pitch, and it is in there for a strike. The Orioles continue to have the best team average with runners in scoring position at 300. The ugly side is opponents are hitting 320 with runners in scoring position against the Orioles. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Roberts, did he go? Check it first. Yes, he did. Jeff Kellogg.
Now we'll get another look at this check swing. This time I think Brian went. Got that barrel way out in front of home plate, and that's the right call. Just took an appeal down the first to get it right.
So Roberts will have to do this with a couple of strikes. Brian sitting 306 with runners in scoring position. There are 3 of them out there. Wigginton, Zahn, Taurus. Here's the 0-2 delivery to him. Roberts goes down swinging, and angrily so. Couple of strikeouts, and they've come at key moments in the ball game. No runs, couple of hits, and 3 are left on base. We remain tied here at 1-1. by Panasonic Tough Book Computers. Tough book for a tough world. And by Navy Federal Credit Union. We serve where you serve. And today's game here on Masson in recognition of Memorial Day, a day of remembrance for those who have died in our nation's service. And we want to thank all the past, current armed forces for their work and dedication in protecting our country. And great to have you with us. If you are an armed forces member, or were, or might be. We go to the third inning. Guthrie's delivery to Scudero, the leadoff batter, is a strike. Scudero delivered a single, stole a base, scored on the single by Wells in the first inning. And Marco Scudero continues his run of getting on base. That's a fly ball to right. Nick Markakis. A lot of glare. Glasses on. Scudero is retired. One away. Brian Roberts, after he took that slide at second base, watching him, he is limping a little bit still out there trying to get through this ball game.
Yeah, he had a big guy land on his ankle on his throw to second base. Rod Barajas, who ended up with a 2-out double. You could see the hard collision, and Barajas is trying to break the fall, and Brian limped in the dugout. Looks like he's still favoring it a little bit in the field.
Ground ball towards third. That's going to be a base hit. So Hill is on a 1-out single and a 9-game hit streak now, as Hill puts the two-hopper out of the reach of both Mora and Torres.
You know, Aaron Hill is a product of the direction of Cito Gaston. First pitch swinging. Here's another pitch of Exmo. Watch the swing as he squares up on the barrel of the bat, hits it a ground ball through the hole at third base. But Cito Gaston has always been a proponent of, you see a pitch you like, turn it loose. And he's seen 2 pitches and hit 2 shots today.
Hill is the leader in hits in the majors, as he adds another one. 72 now on the season for him. He's on at first base, and that'll bring up Rios. 4 hits for each team in the ball game. Rios flied out to center field his first time up. Good breaking ball down and away. So Aaron Hill has collected at least 1 hit in 41 of 48 games. He is third in that department behind Ichiro and Jacoby Ellsbury. Inside with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Sun coming through the high thunder bumper clouds that are roaming around this afternoon on a very summer-like day. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And another one that eats inside. It's in the mitt, though. Zahn kind of turned around like he wanted to see if Hill might take off because he had the ball in the webbing of his glove. Hill didn't bite.
Yeah, if you can't see the ball, you can't take a chance. And Zahn just thought the reaction might cause Aaron Hill to break, but he didn't go for it.
Short lead at first. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Rios, a towering pop-up. Shade thine eyes. Aubrey Huff did, and he gets it. And there are 2 down. On Friday, the Orioles will take on the Tigers, 7:05, and it is the first fireworks night of the year. All fans can stay and enjoy the postgame fireworks display. You can get your summer started with the explosive night right here at Oriole Park. Tickets as low as $9, 888-848-BIRD, or Orioles.com. Tigers coming in, fireworks night to kick it off on Friday for the first of the season. Vernon Wells.
Gary, we were talking earlier about servicemen serving their country, and I misspoke when I mentioned Tillman. It was Pat Tillman, of course, a great football player that gave his life for the service of our country.
That one's going to get away.
Obviously, the sacrifice, and he walked away from an NFL career to volunteer for his country and lost his life in the service of the country.
And an ugly story to go with it, unfortunately. Makes no less of what he did, though.
No, not at all.
1-0 count, 2 down. Wells now with a runner at second again. I think that was a pass ball. It looked like it could have been caught. It puts a runner at second. Scudero got to second on a stolen base in the first, and they took advantage of it. Now Hill on at second base, and Wells, who got the RBI the first time, gets another chance. And Wells towards the hole, taken by Moore on the short hop, and gets the out. That's where he gets the big play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base on this Memorial Day at Camden Yards. 1-1. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. And by PNC. PNC leading the way. Back here at Camden Yards, we welcome you. This is a cap that's being worn today, or all around Major League Baseball. Umpires as well as players are wearing it. It's going to be worn on July 4 and September 11 as well, and sold. The Orioles store has it. They can be bought online, and all of the proceeds are going to go to welcome back veterans.
Well, it's a tremendous cause, obviously, and for so long we have ignored our veterans as they're returning from service, and it's an important thing. These caps, beautiful caps, and they'll certainly be something that you can pick up at the concession stands here, and then later on they will be auctioned off, and it's a pretty special moment. But get out there and support this great cause. Pretty sharp looking hat, as you can see. Umpires, both teams are wearing them. It's all around baseball for those 3 respective days.
And if you buy the hat at MLB.com, MLB is going to donate an extra $1 for all of the caps that are sold online. Adam Jones here in the 1-1 ball game. That's a great cause. The delivery is swung out and missed. It is always great to remember those who gave their lives and those who serve now. But the Washington Post had a fine story today, and we've become more and more recognizing the fact that so many come back with such serious physical and mental problems, and they need help. And that's where this money's going. Yeah, they sure do. And obviously the Orioles and the Nationals went to Walter Reed on Friday to visit some of those soldiers rehabbing. And it's another reminder how fortunate we all are, and how what a great sacrifice these soldiers make for us. And we need to support them. And anytime we can do something like this, everybody should get on board and support such a great cause. So we hope you'll do that. If you come out to the yard, you can buy them here, or you can get them at MLB.com, and it will go to the veterans to support those who are coming back home from service overseas. So get it done. All right. 1 down here. Ball game tied at 1-1. Nick Markakis will stand in. But Jones retired. Talent kind of settling in here right now. Markakis hit into a double play, a very big play in the first inning when the Orioles had the first 2 on. Talent has now struck out a couple in the ball game. In fact, the last 2 batters that he's faced. Markakis hitting at .309. Chops that one foul outside of first base, and a 2-strike count on him.
Well, we talk about what a good job that the Blue Jays have done in the absence of some of their regular starters, and Brian Talent deserves a lot of credit. The Blue Jays are still 4th in the American League in starters ERA, which is a tremendous accomplishment given all the injuries they've dealt with.
And a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 1 away. This has the markings of another tight ball game with a couple of pitchers who are on right now. That'll miss outside, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. Talent looking for his 3rd win. He's 2-2. Keeps pitching like this, he's going to be more than just a substitute starter. 2-ball 2-strike count. Markakis off the end of the bat. Rowland backing up. Left fielder coming. Scott Rowland. Difficult play makes it. 2 down.
Well, Scott Rowland's always been a premier defender, and he went into foul territory just by a step or so to haul in that pop-up off the end of the bat of Nick Markakis. Rowland is healthy again, and boy, for a while he played with such damaged shoulders he could barely swing the bat, but he is back and swinging it very well.
This is the first of 3 that'll take place against Toronto. Ricky Romero, who's 2-0, is going to make the start for the Jays tomorrow. The Orioles won't announce the starter who's being called up till after this game. Then Rich Hill and Roy Halladay. Halladay at 8-1 with a 2.78 ERA. Rich Hill 1-0 with a 3.18. They will go at it in the Wednesday day game at 1:35.
Yeah, and you wonder why the Blue Jays would have a 6-game losing streak with Roy Halladay in the rotation. But he got beat 1-0 on Friday at the hands of Kenshin Kawakami down in Atlanta. He gave up a sacrifice fly, the only run of the ball game.
Clearly an off day.
Off day. Yeah, got to bear down more.
Jeez. Yikes. Mora's got a 2-0 count, 2 down. Interesting alignment in the infield. They move the shortstop Scudero back and over towards third. Rowland's playing towards third, and the second baseman Hill over towards second base, but a pretty big hole up the middle. None of that will matter when a ball's hit in the air. Wells, center fielder, he's got it. So a 1-2-3 inning. 3 up, 3 down. It remains tied. Memorial Day. We hope you are enjoying it. There's a family here at Camden Yards enjoying it. How about a dog? Just one.
Starter will be Jason Birkin from AAA Norfolk. Take a look at some of the numbers. He's a right-handed pitcher, had a very good season since being promoted from AA Bowie. He's been 2-0 in those 5 starts in Norfolk, 1.05 ERA, walked just 6 batters, struck out 16 and 25 2/3 innings pitched, and he struck out 7 in his last start. So we'll wait to hear that official announcement sometime tomorrow. Gary?
And that may come as soon as after the ball game, Amber.
Well, we always talk about clubs not making any kind of announcements until it's absolutely necessary, because you never know what's going to happen. And as a manager, I can remember adding a player to the roster, but not until I saw that player physically in the clubhouse. And you don't want to waste a move or chance something happening, and you just don't know what the weather's going to bring today, tomorrow, and you don't make the decisions till you absolutely need to.
That is Birkin, who's only in his 4th professional season. The delivery is
foul ball.
No, he called it a hit batter.
Well, I tell you, his reaction initially is a foul ball, the way he throws his hands up, but.
And he didn't take off immediately either.
Watch the umpire. The ball hit him, and see that sign right there is foul ball, but he went to first base and just made the umpire, Tim Timmons, believe that it was a hit down.
So Guthrie hits the leadoff man here in the 4th inning. And again, for the 2nd in 4 innings, Toronto gets the leadoff man on base. 4th hit batter. Pitch will be taken outside for a ball. Roland grounded out his first time up. Runner at first and nobody out. Let's see how this will be played by Cito Gaston. Roland. Potential to hit into the double play if he can get the ball down on the ground of him. Pitch will be taken away, and it's 2-0.
Now, Scott Roland's a tremendous hit and run batter. He has great bat control. He's got a big hole at first base to shoot the ball through the right side. If they choose to start the runner, Roland can put it in play.
Roland hitting at .311 coming in. Swung out and missed. Took something off that. Got it inside. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
That was not a hit and run swing.
That was a bad swing.
They chased a high pitch.
And he didn't like it himself.
He was thinking about hitting one out of the yard.
Roland looks so big, the bat looks like he's got a wiffle ball bat in his hand. Here's the 2-1 delivery. In the air to right and curving to the seats. How about the home run by Teixeira on the shattered bat at Yankee Stadium? Now, either he is A, tremendously strong, or B, it is the new bandbox of the major leagues, or C, both of the above.
You can't say the B word.
Can't say bandbox?
Oh, no, they get upset.
Oh, well.
Yeah. 43 home runs in 23 games.
Bandbox.
Bandbox.
Here's the 2-2 delivery.
It is really, really a small ballpark. And Teixeira's bat, the barrel of the bat ended up toward third base, and the ball went about 4 rows deep into the seats and left. And all Cole Hamels could do, who comes from the ultimate hitter ballpark, was shake his head.
Amazing. Truly amazing.
And Saturday, Alex Rodriguez tied it up off Brad Lidge with an opposite field fly ball that went out of the ballpark for a home run.
Yeah, certainly is creating all kinds of things to talk about and write about, the new Yankee Stadium.
Well, and the problem is it's more of a burden on Yankee pitchers than anybody else because they have to pitch 81 games there.
Exactly. Roland takes that to center field. Jones started back, now stops. Adams under it. And one away here in the 4th inning. Speaking of Adam Jones, you can vote for Jones, Nick Markakis, and any of your other Oriole favorites or those from elsewhere for the All-Star game. Don't miss your chance to vote orange, save green. You can vote the maximum 25 times, and you'll receive a free upper reserve seat to any non-prime O's game after the All-Star break. So vote early and often. Details, Orioles.com/vote-orange. Sounds like a promo for the voting machine in Chicago sometime back in the 50s and 60s. Vote early and vote often. Your reward will be coming.
But Adam Jones is 4th in hitting in the league, and he's all over the leaderboard offensively.
Popped up by Overbay. Shallow left center. Reimold. And there are 2 down. Overbay 0 for 2 as he went after the first pitch, and the hit batter, Lynn, remains on at first base.
But to finish up the thought on Adam Jones, when you think about where he is in the overall scheme of things, and he's all over the leaderboard. He has 101 total bases now. He's hitting .359 at the start of play. He's second to Aaron Hill in multi-hit games, second in runs scored to Brian Roberts, tied with Nick Markakis to lead the league in assists. I mean, you could make an argument for him defensively and offensively.
Absolutely. Here's Rod Barajas, runner on at first base. And 2 down. Barajas had a double. Sports Illustrated had a feature story on Adam Jones in the May 18 issue, calling him the 5-tool real deal. Ability to hit for average power, run, throw. They called him a most valued and rare commodity, and talked about growing up in San Diego and the tough times he had there, and that created a great deal of maturity beyond his years, which you see out here in the ball field when Adam is playing. And his friends back there at San Diego's Morris High School said that when he was around, it was like a press conference going on in my living room all the time. He was always in control. And the story ends, command of every situation, ? Perhaps that is a 6th tool, written by Tom Verducci in Sports Illustrated. 1 ball, 1 strike count, and the pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
I believe Andy MacPhail's trade for Adam Jones will be compared in the long haul to Frank Robinson coming here in '66. When Robinson had such a dramatic impact on the Orioles organization overall, I think Adam Jones is going to have the same type of impact.
He has certainly started out that way. Guthrie trying to get out of this. Barajas runner goes outside. Throw down by Zahn is there, and he's out. Lind is caught stealing. And only 3 up in the inning. Aubrey Huff. He'll be leading it off for the O's when we come back in a ball game tied at 1 apiece. Low fares, no hidden fees. A 1-1 ball game as Aubrey Huff will stand in. He grounded out his first time up. Big innings early on for Aubrey with the numbers. Distinct difference once he gets beyond that 3rd inning in average slugging on base percentage. RBI's not bad though. He's picked up key hits throughout the ball game, but early on he's been able to get to him. Talon's delivery to him, and that is outside for a ball.
I think that'll change as the season wears on, and Aubrey Huff has changed trends starting last year. He was a notoriously slow starter, and last year he got off to a decent start. Again this year with 35 RBIs, 36 RBIs at this point.
Takes that one to right field. That's going to be a base hit. That'll bounce off the top of the wall. Has to be played by Rios up against it, and Huff easily goes in with a double to lead off the 4th inning.
Well, as we mentioned, top part of this lineup, they can do a lot of damage with extra base hits. That ball is up and away from Aubrey Huff, and he's so strong he pulls it to the base of the fence in right field. Take a look at this pitch. That's a breaking ball that just breaks to the outside. He gets on top of it, but it was up. It wasn't down. And that was a good depiction of how that breaking ball, the slider, is thrown with kind of a football spiral type spin off of it.
And our Famous Dave's Exmo. Come into Famous Dave's for the best tasting, most award-winning ribs in America. Here's Ty Wigginton. RBI chance. Ground ball. Got to hold the runner. Scudero gets the out, and an unproductive out for Wigginton, and 1 away here in the 4th inning. You can spend your lunch hour tomorrow with Orioles Reach and Orioles first baseman Aubrey Huff at the ESPN Zone in the Inner Harbor. Aubrey's going to be there from noon to 1, signing autographs and a chance to meet and greet. That'll be tomorrow, noon until 1 tomorrow at the ESPN Zone Inner Harbor. For all of the Orioles community appearances, go to OriolesReach.com.
First question we want to hear from the audience. Aubrey, tell us about your off-season workout program, because he doesn't have one.
Or the same question, what'd you have to eat when you weren't playing? Here's Nolan Reimold, breaking ball. That's what got him the first time on a strikeout. Huff on at second base, and 1 away. The Orioles now with 5 hits. Jays a run on 4 hits. The Orioles a run on 5. Each team has left 3 on base. First inning run, Wells RBI single. brought home Scudero. Orioles evened it up. Bottom half, ground ball double play that would score Roberts, who was at third. Roland's going to have to make a big time play, and he can't. It'll be an infield hit. He decided to go with the glove, not the bare hand, and then wasn't going to get him anyway, but he couldn't get the ball out of the glove.
Now, and he uses one of the bigger gloves at third base, and he's way back deep at third base. He's normally one of the best there is at these swinging bunts. But the ball in that big glove, he can't find a handle, and once he bobbles it, another good replay from Exmo. The ball in that glove, and you can see how he doesn't come into his glove cleanly and get the ball right there. It was academic. It was a base hit.
Now the Orioles get runners on at first and second. The Orioles left the bases loaded in the second inning. Zahn up now with runners at first and second and one away. And Zahn will take the pitch outside for a ball. Zahn drew a walk, the only one surrendered by Talent in the ball game. Well, now the Orioles are looking for those big hits. Zahn in the month of May hitting .314, much better than the month of April. The average now, you saw at the .210 mark overall. And he fouls that one off as he got jammed. That one bouncing over into the Toronto dugout.
Yeah, as well as he has hit, the average up over 300, he's actually really swung the bat even better than that. He's had a lot of bad luck this month as well. But he's having quality at bats now and just seems to be swinging the bat with much more confidence. It was a nightmare in April for him.
Bad month. Slow month. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Huff and Reimold are the runners. 1-1. Zahn, base hit into left field. That'll easily score Huff. Runner will stop at second. The Orioles have a 2-1 lead. Zahn the RBI.
Zahn will be very grateful to Aubrey Huff, the base runner, for scoring on that line drive. Huff did a good job of committing to breaking on this pitch. It's right at the shortstop. And look at Aubrey Huff. He never hesitated. Got a real good read off the bat. A lot of base runners will freeze on that line drive. That was just beyond the reach of Marco Scudero, and Zahn gets an RBI because of good base running by Aubrey Huff.
4th RBI of the season for the Oriole catcher, and a 2-1 lead. And now the Orioles have 7 hits in the ball game. So the leadoff double by Huff does not go for naught. Now Reimold at second, Zahn at first. Here's his Torres. He had a single last time up. Good stop made by Barajas, as that one was in the dirt, and ball 1 on his Torres. So the Orioles getting 2. Brian Talent.
Reconfirmation of some of Aubrey's thoughts. He'll come in from time to time, even after a base hit like the double, and say, Crow, this is what I saw. Am I right in thinking that way? And the hitting coach will validate it.
Big cut and a miss, and a 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Terry Crowley will actually go over the at-bats with the hitters as they're going through the at-bat, and he will look at the setup, see what guys are trying to do. He remembers the scouting reports, and then he remembers the strengths and weaknesses of each of his hitters. And when they come back after an at-bat, whether it's good or bad, they'll say, Crow, this is what I saw. You think I'm right on? He goes, yep, you got it.
Is Torres 1-1. Done a good job here in the bottom of the order, especially of late. He's hitting .236 overall as he stands in, but he is also one of those who's getting better as the season's moved along. Is Torres, as we said, against the lefties now, hitting almost .390. So the Orioles would hope he can continue that. He's got 13 RBIs, and a base hit here could get another one. Good speed at second in Reimold. 2-1 delivery. Taking strike on the outside corner. 2-2.
Cesar Asturias got his start with the Blue Jays. He was a teammate with Michael Young, and they would alternate between second and shortstop. And they have both moved on. Young, of course, the third baseman for the Texas Rangers now.
2-2. Way inside to him, and a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Reimold on at second base, on at first. Do you send him?
No. I don't send him because I think that Izturis can make good enough contact and stay out of the double play with Brian Roberts up. A chance, strike him out, throw him out. I think he'll hold the ground.
Izturis, one of the most difficult to strike out in the league. Delivery to him, high in the air, not deep, left field. Bautista's got it. Runners halfway, will go back. The talent gets another big out. Now there are 2 down with 2 on here in the 4th inning. Orioles a run in and a 1-run lead.
And I think you have a very motivated Brian Roberts coming to the plate with 1st and 2nd and 2 outs. He doubled in his first at bat, but then struck out on a high fastball with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning. So he'd like another chance to drive in a run here, and I think that this should be a productive at bat for Brian Roberts.
Brian 306 with runners in scoring position, gets another shot at it. 2 down and 2 on. Talent trying to keep it at just a 1-run difference. Really amazingly, Brian has had only 1 hit in 18 at bats when there are 2 down and runners in scoring position. In other situations, when there are 1 out or no outs, his average is .556. But with 2 outs, 1 for 18.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a streak he's in right now, and there's no real rhyme or reason for it.
Roberts waiting. Talent's pitch to him. Grounded down to 3rd. Fair ball. Taken to the bag by Rowland. And that will retire the side. A run in, 3 hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. Orioles back on top, 2-1.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. Frederick's a great town. I'm just learning as much as I can right now and just enjoying every day.
Now for you, you get a day off in Frederick, Memorial Day. You decide to come to an Orioles game. I guess you're a baseball fan, not just a baseball player?
Oh, absolutely. I follow every Orioles game every day, and I knew Guthrie was on the hill today, so wanted to come out and watch him live. And it's been fun. I love coming to this ballpark. You can't beat this place. It's so beautiful. So just to be able to come out and watch a game is a lot of fun.
How much do you learn from watching guys like Jeremy Guthrie? Who else do you watch and learn from?
Well, I watch every Orioles game. I TiVo them at home so that I could come home and watch them. But I learned so much from Guthrie, just from how he goes about his business on the mound, how he really takes charge, and his routine and everything. So it's just a lot of fun to watch him.
Right now, being down in Frederick, do you just try to get in the rhythm, the routine? Is that what you're learning a lot about being a baseball player, professional baseball player?
Absolutely. I'm trying to get used to the 5-day rotation, although it's been tough because there's been so much rain in Maryland. Not really used to that, but yeah, just getting in the routine, getting adjusted to play ball, and having fun mainly.
And I saw that your catcher, Caleb Joseph, is here with you as well. He's been hitting the ball very well. How's the team this year down in Frederick?
Oh, we're playing very well right now. We're on a pretty good winning streak, and Caleb's having an unbelievable year. Him being my catcher, it's really a lot of fun. He really knows the game, and can't have a better catcher behind the plate.
All right, well, Brian, best of luck. Thanks for being here with us.
All right, thank you.
All right, Gary Buck.
And great to see him on board here watching the ball game. Jones hauls that one in as Barajas is retired. Here's Bautista, strikeout victim, his first time up. And make no mistake about it, as we follow it on Masson, the fans, the Oriole fans, are following the likes of Brian, all the minor league youngsters that the Oriole fans are waiting to see here. They keep track of.
Yeah, I mean, and you could see Brian is very at ease, very comfortable, very confident young guy, and a very talented young left-hander. Just putting in his time, getting his experience, and working down in the minor leagues. Of course, we got a chance to see him in spring training, and he certainly didn't look like he was intimidated by the big league spring training atmosphere.
No, I don't think that's going to happen to him, actually. In fact, it's one thing about, I think, most of the Oriole young players, their level of maturity and willingness to compete. They're not afraid at all. Foul back and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Easy to say now. You get up here in the big leagues and you're having to do it day in, day out. It is a different story. But if you come up with that attitude, you got a whole lot better chance of success than otherwise.
No question. And I don't think the gap has ever been wider from the minor leagues to the big leagues than it is right now. So it's quite a jump.
Bautista takes the pitch inside. Guthrie has walked none, struck out one, given up just the 1 run on 4 hits in the ball game. We are in the 5th inning. That run came in the 1st. Only 3 have been stranded, 2 in scoring position by the Jays thus far in the game. 2-2 delivery on the way, and got him. Good breaking ball. Second strikeout for Guthrie, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, both strikeouts have been Jose Bautista. It's been the same pitch. That slider, he's not picking it up out of the hand, and he can't pull the trigger. Take a look at the concentration, the delivery, the hand comes through. There is that spiral spin on the breaking ball, and he finds the strike zone for a punch out.
2 down. Faced only 3 in the last inning after hitting a batter. They got Lind on a caught stealing to end it. And a strike on the outside corner to Scudero. Scudero in the leadoff spot, single, and is flied out to right field. 279 batting average, but a 396 on base percentage because of the walks that he picks up. He's been a really solid leadoff man. We will have a moment of national tribute coming at 3 o'clock. The game will be stopped in about 4 minutes. A 1-ball 1-strike count. Scudero takes it long and deep and foul down the left field line. Souvenir in the corner, and it's a 1-ball 2-strike count, just a long strike.
Well, there was quite an interesting controversy developing in the spring about Scudero, John McDonald. Who's going to play shortstop? But Cito Gaston likes the offense that Scudero brings to this lineup. McDonald is a wizard defensively at shortstop, and he can make plays, make you shake your head. Wow, that'll make you shake your head.
Where was it? McDonald's played in only 18 games and has only 18 at bats. Scudero with 181 at bats in 48 ball games. 2-ball 2-strike count. 2 down with the bases empty. Scudero down to first. Oh, bad hop up in the air. It'll be played by Markakis. Just as Huff was going to dive for it, the ball shot up in the air and over his head. It'll be a single for Scudero.
I don't even know how Aubrey got a glove on this, but this is an outside pitch. Scudero slaps it toward first base. The ball took a wicked hop. Aubrey actually got a glove on it. You can see the hop. He just waves at it with the glove and deflected it. He may have saved Scudero, or saved a double for Guthrie, as that ball looked like it was headed down the line, but he deflected it enough to keep Scudero to a single.
Thunder banging around the ballpark. Here is Hill. 2 down. Hill fouls it off on the right side.
You think he likes to swing at the first pitch?
Every single one of them. Boy, he just comes up, can't wait, and he leads the majors in hits with 72.
He's a hitter.
Yeah.
What do hitters do?
Hit.
They swing.
If you don't swing, you can't hit. He lined out first time up on a fine play made by his Torres. Throw over. Hill has 6 home runs in May. It's the most he has ever hit in any month of his career as part of the 72 hits that he has put up. 0-1 count with 2 down. 9-game hit streak for him now. Batting at .351. Takes that one to left center field. That ball hit hard. Reimold Jones. Reimold there and makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. There have been some fine defensive plays made in this ball game. The Orioles on top by 1. Memorial Day relevant as to what it is all about, especially for younger Americans. So that being done here at Camden Yards. And the moment of celebration on this Memorial Day coming at 3 o'clock here at Camden Yards and the other ballparks. And unfortunately, along with the remembrance came the thunder and lightning, and the grounds crew out behind the tarp. There are showers around. Thunderstorms were predicted, and crew chief Jeff Kellogg got a weather update during the last between innings. Nicole Sherry came up telling what's going on weather-wise, watching the radar. So we'll keep playing. Of course, if the lightning starts, whether it rains or not, it's a rule in Major League Baseball. You got to get everybody off the field. So far, it's just been rumbling thunder from somewhere out there.
It's a rule for me, too.
It's a very good rule, actually. When you're in the pool and it begins to thunder,
get out.
Get out.
Yeah.
She came ready to go. Part of the dugout club we've talked about all season long. Oops, there was the lightning. Jones leads it off and will foul it outside of third. If you go by the count, that lightning was 4 seconds 4 miles away. 0-1 count. Jones hitting at .361. He has singled and struck out. Markakis and Moore due up. Brian Talent a walk and 2 strikeouts so far. 1-2 delivered to Jones, and another one. Same pitch, same result.
Yeah, that cut fastball inside, and we had mentioned the dominance that Brian Talent has over right-handed hitters. Better than any left-hander in baseball, with a minimum of 100 at bats, even better than the great Johan Santana.
0-2 count. Jones will take it down low. Not only is Adam putting up average RBIs, but he has put the long ball up at a greater rate than I think anybody anticipated. He's got 10 home runs and 32 RBIs on the season. 1-2 delivery to him, and he'll take that one down the right side towards the line. Rios coming over, and a foul ball.
Well, he's able to reach that outside pitch after fouling off 2 inside breaking balls because he's got such great balance. He maintains a very even balance at the plate, so he's never in a place. There's the front foot down. Watch the balance and see how he can reach and hit that ball. It's probably 4 or 5 inches off the plate. Tremendous balance, and Exmo gives you a real good idea of the effort it takes to extend and hit that ball down and away after he fouled off a couple pitches inside.
Talent trying to find a way to get him out of there. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Jones trying to get on to start the inning, and again it'll end up in the same place.
It's very disheartening for a pitcher to make 2 pitches good inside and have a hitter foul it off, make a good pitch outside and have him foul it off to the opposite foul line, and say to yourself, well, where can I go now? You just don't have an idea where you can pitch him. Some hitters, you can see some holes at the plate as you're looking in at the hitter. Not the case with Adam Jones.
Talent, let's see where he goes. 1-2 delivery. That's the one. Down and in, out of the strike zone, almost on the plate. And Jones has gone down swinging twice now. Talent gets the K. He's got 3 in the ball game.
Now, that's the one time Adam Jones will say, I got myself out. He chased a ball in the dirt, breaking ball with 2 strikes. Talent bounced it and says, you know what, if he's going to cover in, cover out, how about if I bounce one up there and see if I can get him to chase? And there it is, right in front of the plate.
That'll bring up Nick Markakis. Nick has hit into a double play and popped out. And we'll take the pitch outside for a ball. Nick is 246 off lefties and 342 off right-handers coming into the ball game. Left-handers hitting 281 off Talent, and that one to first is a foul ball, evening the count up at a ball and a strike. Against the
go ahead.
Against the East, the Orioles are 7-16 against the toughest division in all of baseball. Little discussion is going to go on here. Not sure about what. Maybe the
they
want the lights on.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's gotten so dark so quickly, and generally what happens is you wait in between innings to turn the lights on. But now you can see Tim Timmons is talking to Dave Joust, who's making a phone call to the engineering department saying, can we have the lights here? And there's the umpire, Cito Gaston, coming out to say, wait a minute now. We started this inning without the lights on. You're going to turn them on in the middle of the inning?
Home plate umpire. Takes a while to warm them up.
And Cito Gaston saying, wait a minute now. We started the inning here, and that's what you're going to do. Yeah, he said, I don't think that's right. You can't do that in the middle of an inning. And that's his complaint right here.
The umpire's response, of course, is it's dangerous for the players to go on without the lights on because it has gotten this dark. And Cito responds, it was dangerous for my players.
Exactly. You know what? And to what degree is dangerous, you know? I mean, that's interpretation. And Cito said, wait a minute, we're 1 out into this inning, and you're going to turn the lights on to change the situation because they're hidden?
Yeah.
And Cito's a hitter. Through and through.
Yeah.
Don't make any mistake about that. And he said, wait a minute, you can't change the conditions of the ball game in the middle of an inning. And Jeff Kellogg is trying to explain their situation here. And you could argue the safety issue, but Cito's saying, well, you know what? Let's just wait then until this passes, if that's the case. But you can't give them an advantage here in the middle of an inning facing my pitcher just to make sure they can see the ball well.
Jeff Kellogg, who is the first base umpire, is the acting crew chief because Rick Reed, who's normally with the crew, is not here. And so Kellogg takes and Reed is the crew chief. So Kellogg's got that role. Boy, there's some big time lightning. They got to be careful here. That one was right outside center field and not very far away. So the lights have not yet come on. Talent saying let's go. Standing on the rubber ready to throw. So Nick Markakis will get back in. With a 1 ball 1 strike count, 1 down, nobody on. We have gone from bright sunlight and a big glare at the start of this game to some serious dark clouds and a fairly dark condition. The 2-1 delivery. That'll be in there for a strike, and the count goes to 2-2 on Markakis. Orioles here at home 11-11. The Jays on the road 11-14. Jays have actually got a better batting average on the road than they do at home. But their ERA is 3.38 at home, as you might anticipate in a ballpark up there that's pretty pitcher friendly if you can get the ball somewhere other than the gaps. But on the road their ERA is 4.68. So it's over a run more per game on the road ERA than at home. 3 ball 2 strike count. Here's the delivery by Talent. Markakis puts it in the air, and good luck with that. It's not easy to see. It will be played in foul territory, Overbay there. And there are 2 down here in the 5th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Just starting to show that they are on. But they got to warm up before you get the full effect. More up. Melvin has grounded out and flied out. And the 1-0 delivery. Bunted. It's a beauty. It's an off-balance throw and a great one. Oh, what a play made by Barajas. 1 to get there and 2 to make that throw while he was falling down.
Great play. 1 chance. Spin around and fire, and he gets Melvin Moore to end the inning. Batista in the 2nd inning. Brian Talent has 4 so far, including a strikeout with the bases loaded of Brian Roberts. But Greg Zahn delivers in the 4th inning an RBI single to drive home Aubrey Huff. That's the difference in the ball game as we stand here in the top of the 6th with the Orioles leading 2-1.
Jeremy Guthrie working to Alex Rios, who leads it off 0 for 2. He has popped out and flied to center field. Rios here at this ballpark, a .298 hitter lifetime at Camden Yards, 5 home runs here. 1-1 delivery to him. That'll be taken down low. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Guthrie has walked, none struck out 2. Talent, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Fine starts on both sides to the first game of this series. Hard hit ball to short as Torres right in front of it. 1 away in the 6th. Guthrie trying to get his 2nd career win and the 1st this year against this Toronto team. Here at home, Jeremy's gone 2-2. On the road, 1-2. His ERA is almost 2 runs per game better here at home. In fact, it is 2 runs plus better here at home than it is away this season. And the pitch is a fastball inside for a strike on the corner.
Lowest career ERA in May and June. Chris Young of the Padres, Verlander of the Tigers, and then Jeremy Guthrie is 3rd in baseball. Pretty interesting that he would really crank it up 2nd month, 3rd month of the season. I believe his arm strength was down early on. We didn't see those 96, 97 mile an hour fastballs in April, but now we're seeing them consistently from Jeremy Guthrie.
1 ball, 1 strike count. That one drilled to left field. That's going to be a base hit. He got that one up in the strike zone, and Wells went right after it. 2nd hit for Wells. He's 2 for 3 in the game. A 1-out single. 6th hit of the ball game for Toronto. 1 on, 1 down, and that'll bring up Lynn. He has grounded out and been hit by a pitch. Leading RBI man for the ball club. He's tied with 35 RBIs with Hill. That one in the air, left field. Reimold is there. He's got it. Runner all the way to 2nd. And Wells will have to get back, and there are 2 down. Lynn hopping on the pitch. 2 away. These Jays, there aren't many other than Scudero that take much time when they come to the plate, are they?
Well, it's a philosophical change that changed when Cito Gaston was named manager last year. He has always been one of the best hitting coaches in baseball, and now as a manager he implements that same philosophy. Get ready to hit, and when you see a good one to hit, swing at it.
And they are. 2 down, runner at first base. Wells back to the bag.
Remember the old saying, you can't hit with the bat on your shoulder?
Absolute. That's a truism.
Yep. And you can't steal 2nd with your foot on the bag at first. Simple game.
Simple game. 2 down, runner off first base, and that'll be fouled away by Scott Rowland. Rowland has grounded out and flied out. 2 for 14 now, lifetime off Jeremy Guthrie.
And if you think about it, if you have 3 strikes, why would you give a pitcher 1 of them? And you have the option of swinging at one of those 3 strikes, so why not see one you like and swing at it?
That's the key, though. See one you
selection.
like. Yeah, selection. Yep. 0-1 delivery to Rowland. He's selected. Moore has got it. He goes to 2nd, gets the force out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The starting pitchers continue to dominate as a little light rain comes down.
He will be there for 2 days. Tonight he'll get 3 at-bats in left field. Then he'll get 3 at-bats tomorrow as a DH. Then they will reevaluate whether he'll come off the DL on Wednesday or Thursday. Of course, there will be a corresponding roster move. Today, Dave Tremblay was asked whether or not he has considered Chris Ray sending him down. He does have options just to get back on track in the minor leagues. Dave Tremblay says he has not had any discussions about that. He would prefer to keep Ray here, get him back on track by putting him in situations maybe where there isn't so much pressure. Gary?
All right, Amber, thank you. So probably with Rick Kranitz, Chris is better off here than somewhere else.
Yeah, I think so. And when you really think about it, Tremblay nor Kranitz has really seen Chris Ray at the height of his abilities, and I think that's a concern. He obviously hasn't been as consistent as he would like. He hasn't really been able to throw pitches down in his zone consistently, and I think with Rick Kranitz, he just as soon keep him here. Choose their spots when they use him and try to get him back on track.
There is Chris in the bullpen. Aubrey Huff, 1-1 delivery. And Aubrey will take it down low. Huff has had a double, scored a run, the go-ahead run on an RBI single by Zahn in the 4th. RBI and a ground ball, no RBI on a double play ground ball in the 1st inning. The Orioles 2 runs in the game. RBI single, Wells in the 1st for the Jays. Against the shift right to first. Overbay is there. Takes it to the bag, and Huff is retired. 1 down here in the 6th inning. And on Saturday, June 13, the first 10,000 fans 15 and over will receive an Orioles crab mallet set. It's presented by Old Bay. With this exclusive set, you can combine 2 of the Birdland's favorite summer traditions, steamed crabs and Orioles baseball. Tickets start as low as $9. To get yours, call the Orioles 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. One down, bottom half of the 6th inning. Breaking ball swung and a miss. Ty Wigginton. Wigginton has singled and grounded out. Ty trying to get some consistency going at the plate. He's the designated hitter for the Orioles. The Orioles DH numbers are very good. 288 for the Orioles. 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. Wigginton has been there. Luke Scott has been there. Montañez has been there. Boy, nasty stuff, and that's why the right-handers have so much trouble with Brian Talent.
That's that hard cutter inside, and you see it out over the plate. It's a strike initially, and then it's a ball when you swing at it. Look at the break on it. All the way across the plate, swing right over the top of it. You see it outside, you think, fastball. Nope.
Just eat you up. Inside to him, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talent in his 8th start, 12th appearance. And he's been solid. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Orioles, 1 run, 6 hits for the Jays. Wigginton on one that tailed away, and that's the pitch, Buck, that really eats you up. I mean, he's nailed you inside on those cutters and throws you that changeup that goes the other way.
Now, watch the location of this pitch with sinking action down and away. Very difficult to cover both sides of the plate. We talked about Adam Jones and how remarkable his coverage is. But Wigginton, after chasing a couple of pitches inside, was set up perfectly for the Talent changeup away.
The 5 strikeouts. That one's fouled off into the seats. 2 down here in the 6th inning. Nobody on. Reimold has struck out and singled in the ball game. There are the numbers for Talent so far. Only the 1 walk. A very solid performance by the left-hander. The Orioles have won 4 and lost 6 against right-handed starters so far this season. Left-handed starters, sorry. The left-handers have given the Orioles a bit of a problem. Obviously, as we talk so much about, oftentimes if it's a left-hander, it's not only a left-hander but a pretty darn good pitcher. Nolan Reimold with the 0-2 count. Missed outside. 1-2.
And Talent was ready to head for the dugout. He thought he made a good pitch to the outside corner. Just kind of bounced back on the mound very quickly.
That one will be down low. The Orioles hitting only .227 off left-handers coming into this ball game. .276 off right-handers. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Nobody on. Orioles up by 1. And Reimold will take it away, and the count goes full, 3-2. So Talent tried to get him to chase about 3 different pitches there, and he wouldn't do it.
No, he's shown a lot of patience in the limited time we have seen him. He doesn't take many pitches out of the zone. He's got pretty good strike zone recognition.
3-2 delivery, and Reimold draws a walk, and a good at bat to get it. Only the second Talent has surrendered in the game. It comes with 2 down here in the 6th inning, and Zahn coming up.
Well, when you think about left-handers around the American League, Ryan Talent at 6'7" poses one of those problems with that long delivery and the fact you can't pick up the baseball. CC Sabathia also 6'7", great downhill play. And Sabathia pitched a great game here a couple weeks ago when he threw a 4-hit shutout against the Orioles. But just looking around the league, there's John Danks in Chicago. You got Francisco Liriano in Minnesota. Matt Harrison's off to a good start for the Texas Rangers. There's just a lot of good left-handers around, and there's a new one on the block now with David Price making his start today for Tampa Bay.
Young man's finally up. Breaking ball inside. Did he go? No, says Jeff Kellogg. And a 2-0 count. Injuries forced the hand, but it was sooner or later for Tampa Bay in any event, wasn't it?
Yeah, he'd made 8 starts in the minors. David Price had 5 innings his last time out, 9 strikeouts. So that's a good red flag to say, okay, I'm ready. And Joe Maddon's anxious to have him.
2-0 delivery on the way. Yankees are walloping Texas 7-0 in Texas in their game. Boston's got a 5-1 lead over Minnesota. Their game in Minnie's opening up a series there.
That's Brad Penny against Francisco Liriano, and Liriano has not gotten on track yet.
3-0 count. Runner at first. And that is in there for a strike. This Toronto team had been able to hold down the #1 position. There's Ryan warming up in the American League East until yesterday. Boston jumped ahead of them by a half a game. In light of the 6-game losing streak that these Jays have taken, the Yankees are a game out. That ball is hit high in the air, slams the bat down as he went after one up high. And it's hauled in by Scudero, and no runs, no hits, no errors with 1 left on. End of 6, 2-1. O's. Reimold had to haul one down. That was in the 6th inning against Lind. That's some of the defense that's gone on here in this ball game. And obviously, when it's 2-1, all of those plays matter.
Right, they sure do. And because both pitchers have been throwing a lot of strikes, the defenders have a tendency to be on their toes, anticipating they might have a ball hit at them.
We go to the 7th inning. Jeremy Guthrie. That'll be fouled away by Overbay. Overbay, Barajas, and Bautista do up 7, 8, and 9. Overbay an 0 for 2, coming in with a 4-game hit streak, and now hitting at .261. He's had 6 hits in his last 14 at bats. against Guthrie now. He's 6 for 19 with a homer. 0-1 delivery up the middle, base hit. I mean, a shot. Bell tie, glove side, and the leadoff man on for the Jays here in the 7th. He got that one.
Well, Rod Barajas is hitting now, but it is the AT&T Rapid Rewind as Barajas made a heck of a tail. It's time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. And there it is, a good play by Rod Barajas, spinning and firing with 2 outs to get Melvin Moore to end the 6th inning.
Well, it was a heck of a play.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, you're the world delivered.
And a pitch taken for a strike as the rain begins to come a bit harder. The thunderstorms have been swirling around. The fans are heading back up underneath. Barajas with Overbay on at first base. That'll be put back into the screen. Barajas had a double in the 2nd inning. Flied out to left is another time up. No, it's threatened for the last couple of innings. And now it has become a reality. We'll see how quickly it moves through. Wind's not blowing particularly hard.
Now it's kind of settled in here now, and it looked more like a thunderstorm early on, and now it just looks like a rain shower. Light rain, though, Gary, for you and I.
Light rain.
Very
for
light.
Those of you undercover, very light rain. As you said, it's like minor surgery.
Exactly. Always minor when it's on somebody else.
Exactly. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. Down low. Good stop made. Holds a runner on at first base.
We mentioned the AL East. Now Toronto has just slipped out of the top spot. Boston's going on the road today playing in Minnesota. Already 5 runs on 11 hits. But the big question is whether or not David Ortiz hit in the 3rd spot. He is mired in a horrific season-long slump.
2-2 delivery, and that is a foul ball. Yep, no question that the Red Sox are trying to make the decision on what to do. Apparently the first option is to drop him down in the lineup rather than pull him out of the lineup. But can't go on with that.
Now, man, they need him to hit. There's no question about that. To his credit, David Ortiz said, I don't want any days off. I don't want to worry about it. I'm going to hit my way out of this thing.
2-2 delivery. Good pitch by Guthrie. Came back with an off-speed delivery and gets the strikeout, 1 away.
Take a look at this last pitch. Barajas has been swinging the bat great. This looks like a straight changeup and a very good one. With 2 strikes, Barajas' head comes off the ball. He pulls off of it. Big strikeout for Guthrie here in the 7th.
And 1 away. 3 strikeouts in the ball game for Jeremy Guthrie. Bautista. It is raining hard enough. You see the hitters trying to keep the water from coming off the top of the bill of the cap. Here's the 0-1. That's a nope. That's not a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Overbay on at first. Each team 7 hits. The Orioles have the 2-1 lead. And that will miss just low. 2-1.
Jeremy Guthrie has to make sure he doesn't rush through this inning trying to get it before the rains come. The umpires will take care of that. Don't get out of your rhythm and don't get out of sync trying to beat the rain.
Inside, and a 3-ball, 1 strike count. Not especially, but not now. You got a 2-1 lead,
right? And
you're in the 6th, top of the 7th inning.
If it gets bad enough, the umpires will call it.
It's a 2-2 count, by the way. 2-2, not 3-1. The delivery swung on and missed. He got him, didn't he? No, scoreboard was right, and the count is 3-2. Sorry. So a 3-ball, 2 strike count. I want to take a strike away from Bautista. 3-2, 1 away. Runner not going. Foul back into the screen.
Now, Bautista has struck out twice here today, both times looking. Got caught on sliders in both at bats.
Steady rain coming down and thunder rumbling. Breaking ball. and walked him. That is the first walk, and it comes with the rain. And it'll put runners on at first and second base now with only one away. On Wednesday, June 17th, first 25,000 fans 15 and over at the Mets game right here at Camden Yards are going to receive the Adam Jones bobblehead. It's got Adam making that catch in center field, blowing a bubble at the same time. Be a great collector's item. So we hope you get your tickets in advance. 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. That's Wednesday, June 17. All right, Kranitz coming out. I expect Buck to say exactly what you were just saying.
Yeah. Let's just make sure you make your pitches now. You've been great all afternoon, and don't try to beat the rain. Denny Baez is warming up down in the Orioles bullpen. I mean, these aren't ideal conditions by any means, but the umpires are in charge now, and it's up to them when it becomes unplayable.
Here is Marco Scutaro, the leadoff batter. He's already got a couple of hits, 2 singles, and scored a run. 2 for 3, 2 on, 1 down. He shows bunt, takes it for a strike. And that's not a bad idea. If he can get one down, the grass is wet. It's tough to move. It's going to be tough to pick a ball up and throw it. If he bunts, he's bunting for a base hit. Guthrie looking back to second, Overbay. Bautista at first. Breaking ball will miss up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scutaro's .314 with runners in scoring position. Another solid number for him to go along with that big on base percentage that he has. Marco Scutaro has really found a home in Toronto in that leadoff spot. 1-1 delivery. Fastball. He'll take it. 2-1.
He thought about offering it that high fastball, but it was just up out of the strike zone. You can see his numbers, as Gary mentioned. He's been clutch for these Blue Jays, but lately none of them have really delivered, especially on this road trip. They've lost 6 straight.
2 ball, 1 strike delivery to him. Scutaro fouls it back. Take a look at our league leaderboard. It's presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation.
This is the team average with runners in scoring position. Detroit 298, Orioles 296. Then the Blue Jays are third at 288. Tampa Bay right on their heels, and here come the Red Sox. And believe me, the Red Sox are starting to heat up.
Like in the stock market, you're always looking for the magic number that tells you where to rank teams. Numbers that correspond. That's one of them. It is fouled away. Let's say if you look at on base percentage and slugging percentage and where they are, obviously that tells you total bases and runs being scored. But runners in scoring position is a number that oftentimes will generally track the standings. 2 ball, 2 strike count. A little wet in the batter's box, and Scutaro says so to the home plate umpire, trying to get the mud out of the cleats. It's raining pretty good. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Infield starting to show wet in a couple of spots. And the pitch is strike 3 called. Guthrie gets his 4th strikeout, 2nd of the inning. Scutaro out of there, 2 down.
Looked like another slider, and that's been a great pitch for him. Set up on the outside corner, and I don't know if it was a slider or a straight changeup. Take another look at it. It looked like a changeup. In fact, it was. Scutaro had a good look at it, thought it was down, but Tim Timmons said nope. Right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Now a question of whether the mound needs some of the drying agent or not. The grounds crew scurrying down the right field line to go get some of the agent in case they need it. Guthrie saying it's all right, but you can see where he lands, the wet spot showing up.
Yeah, that's all the clay, and they do such a great job of compacting these mounds so effectively that it takes an awful lot of water for them to be unplayable. But what happens is all of that surface will stick to the bottom of your cleats, and the spikes will be ineffective. So you have to continue to clean your spikes off to make sure you have a legitimate grab and grip when you hit that landing foot.
That's a big moment in the ball game, with the Orioles leading at 2-1 7th inning. Jays with runners on at first and second and 2 down, and one of their hottest hitters up, Dave Tremblay, Just hoping Guthrie can stay focused with 2 away and protect the lead. Hill. Slider misses, ball 1. Lined out, and the great play made by his Taurus we showed you. He is singled and flying out to left field. 4 hits, 15 at bats, lifetime off Guthrie. And hitting .350 as he stands in. Fouls it off to even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Guthrie has left runners in scoring position in 2 innings, back in the 2nd and again in the 3rd. That has been it for runners at 2nd or beyond. 2 on right now. That pitch will be taken up high, and a 2 ball 1 strike count on Hill.
Yeah, Guthrie's really used his changeup very effectively. And we talked about Aaron Hill being a dead fastball hitter and a fastball hitter early in the count. So he's used the changeup and trying to make him chase the fastball off the plate here.
Best road average in the league belongs to Hill. Got it to short as Taurus had bounced on him to 2nd, and they get the out. And a great job by Guthrie. 7th inning stretch time. The Orioles have the 2-1 lead. And our 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly.
Now we found him. He came to the game here on this Memorial Day. Al, welcome. And we had mentioned you because you were a former Oriole who had spent time in Vietnam. You fought in Vietnam, a former service member. I have to ask you, I know you played professional baseball before you went into the service. Right. How do you think being involved in sports helped you maybe when you went into the military?
I think it was more the other way around. The military helped me when it came to baseball. I mean, I was a young kid. I had been to college. But I think I matured a lot, having been in the military, having been an officer, having been responsible for the lives of 45 men. So that matured me a lot, and that helped me with my baseball career. And that, for some reason, baseball wasn't all totally consuming.
Exactly. Does perspective change once you have gone and served your country and you come back to play a game?
Yes, and I always think about Memorial Day, and I think about the veterans and men who served in the wars, not just the Vietnam War like I did, but all of the wars. And I'm always cognizant of the fact that a lot of guys paid the ultimate price for us to enjoy the things that we have today. And for me to have played baseball for 13 years. It's unbelievable, and I realize how fortunate I was to have gotten through the war and to have played baseball. And I take my hat off to all the military veterans and obviously those guys that have lost their lives in support of what we enjoy today.
As a former baseball player and as a veteran of the Vietnam War, do you appreciate what Major League Baseball does to honor the veterans as far as wearing the baseball hats that honor them?
I think that's outstanding and that they recognize it. And that, unfortunately, a lot of veterans of foreign wars and of any war, we tend to forget. Well, not us, military people tend to forget. but the general public a lot of times tend to forget. So I think it's outstanding that Major League Baseball have taken a step towards recognizing those heroes and or those veterans.
Do you think a lot of young baseball players can learn from veterans?
They probably can, but you have to experience it. And once you've been through it, you have a greater appreciation for it. And like I said, it makes you mature. I had a couple of kid brothers that I wish had gone into the service. Unfortunately, they didn't. I think they would have been better persons or better people had they gone in. And I would say the same thing about a lot of young kids now. I think they would mature a lot, and being in the military will probably help them.
Well, I can speak on behalf of a lot of people in Baltimore. We not only appreciate what you brought us as far as a World Series in 1983, but also for your service to our country. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
All right, Gary Buck.
What a great guy, isn't he? Al's just one of those citizens to be looked at and followed. He's a good man.
And I think so many of us at that time that were playing during the Vietnam era, and Al was one of the guys that had to go serve his country, came out of college, became an officer, and I thought it was interesting. 45 men. He was responsible for 45 men during a terrible time during the Vietnam War, and certainly puts everything into perspective, and something that he certainly values as a great experience.
One of the great, I wish I could remember the full name of the book, but there's a great, it's a coffee table book, pictures taken outside here as we go with this tourist, on those who served, particularly it's about World War II, and it has photographs of Major League players serving around the world. Yogi Berra, I believe, is on the front of the book. It was published, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah. Tremendous
book, though. I think it's in service to their country is what it's called. It's a big coffee table book. Great shots. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
B.J. Ryan is the new pitcher here in the 7th inning as he takes over for Brian Talent. And B.J. is just trying to work his way back into form. That's why he's here earlier than the 9th inning that we've been used to seeing him in.
Great job by Talent, who leads the game. Could lose it, can't win it, as Torres fights that one off. Talent went 6, giving up a couple of runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And a solid performance, but the Orioles got a run in the first on a double play ground ball. The RBI by Zahn, which is the go-ahead right now, that came in the 4th, and have the lead. Toronto scored in the first, and nothing since. Towards the hole, wet surface, rolling, not in time. Great pick at first base by Overbay, but Roland just could not get that cleanly. We'll wait on the scoring.
I think it's going to be a base hit. It would have taken exceptional effort from the defender, Scott Rolen. He gets his glove on it. He's trying to surround it. You can see how he swipes his glove at it. Did not stick in the webbing of his glove. He rebounds and makes the throw, but not in time.
So that will be the leadoff runner on. It is a single, the 8th hit for the Orioles. Is Torres now with a couple of hits and 3 at bats. And obviously here in the bottom of the 7th inning, anything else that can be put across, big runs. Brian Roberts, right-handed all day. He has doubled, 1 for 3, and scored in the first inning. B.J. Ryan on in relief of Talent. Orioles will try and get to him. Left-handers have hit .333 off him, and right-handers have hit .316. That's a foul ball for a very high batting average against the left-handed reliever. He'd been on the DL, was activated on April 22 to make his first appearance. Ryan worked against the Braves on the 23rd inning. He was charged with a run on a hit, had 1 strikeout in his last outing. The delivery, and that is in there for a strike to Roberts. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, it's been a couple of injury-plagued seasons for B.J. Ryan. He had Tommy John surgery and had to bounce back from that, and certainly signed a wonderful contract in Toronto, a 5-year deal when he left Baltimore.
Gets away, runner stops, and will come back as Torres started, returns.
Now, he made the right reaction when the ball was in the dirt. It came off the glove of Barajas, but then it hit Brian Roberts. Stayed right at the feet of the batter. Barajas jumped on it quickly, and Torres wisely shuts it down. The reaction in the dirt, you go, but then it hit Brian Roberts' leg and stays right there by the catcher. There's the in the dirt reaction, and there's the reaction once it hit Brian Roberts.
And Roberts takes out to the gap in right center field. They were playing shallow. He's going to have a lot of time to run. Coming around to score is Torres. Heading for third base as Wells gets it back in. A stand-up triple for Brian Roberts and a 3-1 Orioles lead.
It's a thing of beauty. A good hitter hitting a triple. This ball is away and not a bad pitch, but he stays on it and splits the outfielders all the way to the wall in the deepest part of right center. Cesar Asturias is off and running, and Brian Roberts gingerly going around this wet infield, but has enough speed and enough time to move into third base with his first triple of the season.
18 RBIs, and the Orioles now lead by 2. Roberts, of course, had that ankle leg problem earlier on a slide at second base where he came up limping. Now Jones with the infield drawn in.
Well, Adam Jones has had an interesting day. This is his first at bat in the first inning when he squares up on a ball and drives it right back up the middle with 2 strikes. Then he gets beaten by a fastball foul tip that strikes out, and finally chases a ball in the dirt from Brian Talent with 2 strikes, second strikeout.
Brian in the dirt to him. Juan Samuel was just talking to Brian Roberts. That leg or foot, whatever he heard on that slide earlier in the game, has bothered him since. And Samuel came over to talk to him as Brian was leaning on his knees after legging out that triple. Probably very happy he didn't have to slide. Fastball is in there for a strike. 1-2. 1 for 3 in the ball game for Jones. He gets an RBI chance right here. That was the first hit Roberts has had in 7 at bats off Ryan, and he makes it a triple. And Jones will step out as Ryan steps off.
Jones's base hit in the first inning came with 2 strikes as well. That's where he's at right now.
Adams 0 for 5 off Ryan. Breaking ball again in the dirt. Ryan was watching those strikeouts, so he's trying to get Adam to chase those pitches down. Roberts limping his way back to the bag. That's something to keep an eye on after the game.
Yeah, he's going to have some serious ice on that left ankle, but it appears as though it's his ankle as he reached all the way down to just kind of see what's going on down there.
2 ball, 2 strike count infield, halfway in. Another one in the dirt. Boy, Barajas doing some work out there, slipping and sliding around. And a 3 ball, 2 strike count.
He called for a breaking ball. The only place it's going to beat you is down and in to the glove side, and that's why he cheats to the inside. He gloves it, squares up perfectly on it, makes a good play.
Three and 2, nobody out. Fouled off. Roberts with the bad ankle may not take off on contact here. That decision's already been made. He may wait rather than test that ankle that he's having trouble working with to see if a ball goes through, rather than, especially with the infield drawn in. We'll see. B.J. Ryan 3-2 again to Jones, and that's inside, and he walked it. 3 up and 3 on against Ryan here in the 7th inning.
And that's why he's pitching in the 7th inning. Not sharp just yet. Dave Tremblay has seen his leadoff batter reached with an infield hit, or excuse me, the number 9 infield hit. Leadoff had a triple, and now number 2 with a walk. So Nick Markakis bats with nobody out and first and third.
And the rain is all but stopped, thank goodness. Nick Markakis is 2 for 2 off Ryan. One of those a home run. Roberts on at third base, Jones on at first. The Orioles have a run in here in the 7th inning and taking a 3-1 lead. And now Markakis, who's got a couple of RBIs against the Jays this year, but is only 2 for 14 at the plate against them. We'll try and add to those numbers. Certainly would not think anybody's going to be running here, not on the wet surface. Brian Wolf in the pen. Outside, and everything Ryan is throwing, it's down low, but it's way down low.
Yeah, it's not ever a strike. That's what you need to have, at least to make the hitter think it's a strike for a while, but his pitchers are starting out of their own, staying out of the zone.
1-0 count. Ooh, that's all the way to the backstop. Runner will go to second, but Brian Roberts is not even going to try and come home. Even with a good leg, he would have had a hard time scoring, but with a bad one, he had no chance. So a wild pitch will put Jones down to second.
Yeah, this one, Barajas has no chance. Look at Roberts' initial break, and then the ball bounces right back toward the catcher, and he wisely chose to stay put with nobody out. And I think that Samuel just indicated to Dave Tremblay in the dugout, make sure it goes through now in this situation. And so he's going to let Adam Jones know if there's a ground ball hit, Brian is not going to go home. And that's what the signs are right there. Dave Tremblay sizing up the situation. They only have a 2-run lead. So you got to make sure that Brian Roberts can score. So you're not going to send him on contact. And you've got to tell the trail runner what the lead runner's doing.
So you don't end up with 2 guys at third base. Nick Markakis hitters count. Even more of an advantage. The infield in. And he went around on it. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Markakis.
Yeah, this is the pivotal at bat in the inning. If Markakis can make something happen and it's safely on board, then they have to make a pitching change. But if not, BJ can then walk Melvin Mora.
And Markakis will take the count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nick coming into the ball game hitting over 400, 404 with runners in scoring position, the 4th best average in the league. The Orioles have 3 of the top 10 best averages with runners in scoring position. Jones is 2nd, Markakis is 4, and Aubrey Huff is 8th. 2-2 delivery and popped him up shallow center. Again, Roberts is not going to go anywhere. Catch made by Wells. One of the few unproductive outs that you'll see from Nick Markakis, and that's the first out of the inning.
Well, now Gaston can put Melvin Mora on with base open at first, and then bring up the lefty-lefty matchup again. Aubrey Huff against B.J. Ryan. So if he chooses to do that, that's an option here.
Cito Gaston has already made that decision. Barajas looking over, and the intentional pass will be surrendered.
When you're trying to get a pitcher back to his performance level, you want to put him in the best possible situations you can. And with first base open, this is a done deal. You put Melvin Mora on and give B.J. Ryan another left-hander to deal with.
First intentional pass Melvin Mora has drawn this season. Aubrey Huff waiting on deck to meet the challenge. So the bases are loaded for Huff. Second time the Orioles have loaded him up. They did not score in the second inning. Huff will get a shot at it here. Huff has had a lot of at-bats against Ryan. 4 for 21. A 190 average off him. Bases loaded and 1 out. Aubrey with a double and scored in the 4th inning. 1 for 3 in the game. And obviously a base hit here really opens the barn door for the Orioles, who lead it 3-1. 4 of the grand salamis in his career. Ryan will miss outside again, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, Aubrey, I'm sure in this situation thinking about good contact, line drive, base hit, get some insurance here and pad this 2-run lead.
2 for 4 with the bases loaded. 7 bases loaded RBIs. Did he go? Check at third. No. Mark Wegner. So Huff gets ahead on the count. 2 balls and 1 strike on Ryan. The Orioles in the 3 games previously played that they lost in Toronto scored a combined 11 runs and hit only .223 against Toronto pitching. They were outscored 17-11 in the series. Aubrey Huff will foul that one back. They've got a 3-1 lead here in the first of 3 in this set.
Aubrey would love to have a do-over. I'd like to have that one back. High fastball. He jumped all over it and just fouled it straight back to the screen.
Aubrey hit .270 off the lefties last year. 173 so far this year. Fights that one off. And it'll stay at a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
That was a good inside fastball. 87 miles an hour. You would think that would lead to an outside slider.
If he can throw it somewhere near the strike zone.
And not bounce it.
Yep. Bases loaded, 1 away. 2-2. Takes that to center field. Going back on it, Vernon Wells. Wells, shy of the warning track, makes the catch. Roberts will tag. He will score. Sac fly and an RBI for Huff, and a 4-1 Orioles lead.
Great job by Aubrey Huff to drive home Brian Roberts, and a big insurance run. Pitch by pitch sequence. Fastball strike one. Breaking ball missed. It's 1-1. Breaking ball down and in. 2-1. Inside fastball fouled straight back. He fouls off a breaking ball. And then that outside fastball deep to center field. And he drives home Brian Roberts, and Brian might leave the game now. They got a little cushion. Cito Gaston out to make the change. B.J. Ryan still not up to speed. Not throwing the ball as well as he's capable of right now.
Aubrey Huff gets his 37th RBI. That will send Ryan out of the ball game. First and third, 2 down. Wigginton coming up. International. We serve today for a safe tomorrow. By Panasonic Toughbook Computers. Tough book for a tough world. And by Navy Federal Credit Union. We serve where you serve. And delighted to have you with us on this Memorial Day, formerly known as Decoration Day. Memorial Day now commemorates U.S. men and women who have lost their lives while in the military service. It was first enacted to honor the Union soldiers of the Civil War when it was expanded after World War I to include American military casualties of any war and all military action, and has been sort of informally expanded to cover a recognition of all military personnel who have served. That's what we do today. Here is Brian Wolf, 28-year-old right-hander, just recalled from AAA. He was in Vegas pitching for the 51s. He was 0-1 there with a 3.46. Made his debut on the 5th of this month for Toronto. Wigginton first and third, 2 down. Orioles have gotten 2 runs in here in the 7th inning. Jones is on at third base. Melvin Moore, who got the intentional pass, is on at first. Wolf's 5th appearance with Toronto. 5 innings, 1 run, 7 hits. Wigginton, hard ground ball to third. Short hopped, and the play made to get the out. But the Orioles will add 2 and a couple of hits, leaving 2 on. We go to the 8th inning. O's are up 4-1. just that. He will come out of the game, but he's got a chance to be the winner. He survived a couple of rain-soaked innings when he had a pitch of men on base and found a way to get it done, getting Scudero out of there. There are the numbers for him. That's a big start.
7 innings, 1 earned run. He had a walk and 4 strikeouts, just over 100 pitches for Guthrie. I thought what he did today was used his fastball very effectively, and he also threw a very good changeup. Really messed up the timing of the Blue Jays hitters. This is a team that has been struggling. Now they're in a position to lose their 7th straight, but Guthrie really made sure they didn't have any opportunities to get back in this game early.
The other move that's been made, Brian Roberts indeed has come out of the ball game, and Robert Andino will come on to play at second base. Brian limping around through the better part of that game, so Andino will take his place, and they'll take a look at leg or ankle, whichever it is.
Yeah, it looked like it might be an ankle injury. He suffered trying to make a play at second base. Rod Barajas, the catcher, slid into Brian Robertson. He knocked him out of the game, but it's better now. He put some ice on it, got all day tomorrow to get ready, and then get ready for tomorrow night game, and he'll have that extra day. So Danny Baez comes in to work the 8th inning, trying to protect this 3-run lead here as we're at 4-1 in the 8th.
And Alex Rios is going to lead it off against him as the Orioles now with a 4-1 lead going to the 8th inning. And Baez will look to just throw some strikes right here and deal with a rather wet landing place out there. We talk about it's not only who you play, but when you play them. The Toronto comes in here having lost 6 in a row. They're down a bit, especially looking for big hits. Grab them while you can.
Absolutely. And Cito Gast, as we mentioned all day long, has always been a proponent that if your hitters are swinging the bat well and have to deal with a knuckleball pitcher that can disrupt their timing. That's exactly what happened at the start of this road trip. They were beaten by Wakefield in Boston 2-1. Pitched a great ball game, and since then the hitters have been in a funk. They haven't been able to get anything together. They've gotten some hits, but they haven't scored runs. They've averaged fewer than 4 runs a game on this road trip.
And continuing to do that here is credit Guthrie with being able to get some big outs with runners on base, exactly what Toronto's been struggling with. And so long as you can keep them in that negative kind of mentality in those situations, then you got a chance to win the ball game. Baez falls behind here 3-1 on Rios. He's taken an 0 for 3. Wells and Lynn will follow in the lineup here in the 8th inning. Baez delivery is grounded to short as Torres not going to get that one. So Rios is on, and a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. Time now to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. Jeremy Guthrie with a great start, 7 innings worth. Brian Roberts came out of there. He had a triple, a double, and a couple of runs scored and an RBI. And Greg Zahn, he had an RBI base hit. That was the second run, the go-ahead run that came in the 4th inning. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862.
Well, already the impact of the insurance proves very important, as you can see now with the leadoff runner on. Different story if it's a 2-1 game, but 2 extra runs in the bottom of the 7th inning have given the Orioles a little cushion here.
Vernon Wells will take the pitch down low. Wells 2 singles and an RBI in the game. 4-9-0 for the O's. 1-8-0 for the Jays. A very tightly played game. The Orioles able to come up with the big RBI chances. That'll be foul. Wells taking a piece of that one, and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
Danny Baez has been great. He went into spring training with desires to be a starter, and when they told him that they were going to move him back into the bullpen, he didn't waver. He just kept working hard, and he's been throwing the ball well all year long. Once in a while he'll deal with command problems, but boy, the quality of his pitches has been exceptional.
1-1 by Baez in the air, not deep. Shallow center. Jones Cummings got time. Wells is retired. And the report is that Brian Roberts left with a shin contusion. So Brian Roberts out of the ball game after that collision with Barajas.
Yeah, that happened way back in the 2nd inning when he was trying to make a play on Rod Barajas, making a bid for a 2-out double. The big catcher slid hard into second base. Nothing malicious by any means, but just a hard slide into Brian Roberts, and he banged up his shin.
Lind up, and he will foul that one away. 1 down, a runner on at first base. Baez working out of the bullpen for the Orioles. Bear in mind they're up against a ball club here in Toronto that not only has come in best in average and second in runs in the league, but their pitching hasn't been bad either. Their starters ranked 4th in ERA. Their bullpen ranked 5th. and good enough for the overall team ranking to be third in the league in ERA. Right at him at first base. Take the play there. Runner to second. Rios gets down there, but Lynn retired on the ground ball to Aubrey Huff, and there are 2 down. Baez gets a couple of outs here, and that'll bring up Scott Rowland.
Pretty good indication of quality that Danny's taking to the mound right now. His fastball is explosive. His split finger has been as good as I've ever seen it, and because of that, he hasn't had to use too many breaking balls. Now, how about his day on Saturday when he got a base hit and scored the winning run?
That's he will talk about for an eternity.
More than ever a win, or more than ever a save. It's certainly what he did with the bat.
You won't even have to ask him. Adam Lynn, runner at second base, 2 down, and a strike taken. And important here to get the out on Scott Rowland with Rios on at second. You don't want that lead to be cut. Keep that potential tying run as deep in that dugout as you can, as we're in the 8th inning. Rowland's had an 0 for 3 in the ball game. Baez with the 0-1 pitch to him. That'll be taken down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. 24,904 the announced attendance on this Memorial Day here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Rain has stopped. 82-degree day when we started, and the summer season represented by the unofficial first day of summer. You can dig out your white pants and your linens. This one to short. Scudero, running throw made, and a good play by his Stars to get the out. Lind is retired, so they'll leave that runner Rios down at second base. Good job by Baez on a 4-1 O's lead.
And specially selected games, a Dugout Club hat, membership card, a free kids meal from Chick-fil-A, and an Orioles lunchbox, and it's all for just $17. Plus, family and friends can purchase tickets for each game for just $6. So there are plenty of more Dugout Club days left in the season. For more information, go to Orioles.com. Gary?
And a lot of the kids on hand as school days are coming close to the summer vacation time, much to the delight of all parents. Oh, wait, teachers, sorry. Nolan Reimold coming up, hitting at .268. 1 for 2 and a walk today. Brian Wolf stays on. He came on to get the final out in the 7th inning. Jeremy Guthrie, a run on 7 hits over 7. He walked only 1 and struck out 4. A really fine start for Guthrie for the O's. And that will be knocked down. Play by Hill, and a fine stretch at first base by Overbay. Tip of the glove twice right there. 2 good plays, Hill and Overbay.
Well, we mentioned what a good player Aaron Hill is. We forgot to mention what a good defender Take a look at the effort. Look at where he's standing, and he's got to glove it, ride himself, throw it, and it's wide of the mark, and he gets some help from Lyle Overbay, who maintains contact with the bag. Just shy of the grass behind second. Strong throw. Overbay with the stretch keeps his foot on the bag, and he makes a good play to rob Nolan Raimo of a hit.
Two good ends of that one. Here is Zahn. Greg Zahn delivered what is still the go-ahead RBI in the ballgame with a single that came in the fourth inning, scoring Aubrey Huff, who had led it off with a double. Switch hitter 215 now, 4 RBIs. Way inside, and did that get him? Yes, it did. So Zahn hit by a pitch. He'll get down to first with one away here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, again today, he's been on base 3 times, been hit by a pitch, walked, and has a hit and an RBI. Things are starting to come together offensively. This is a breaking ball that catches him on that back leg, or right on the tip of the knee, right on the tip of his kneecap. Cito Gaston out to talk to Tim Timmons.
The catcher, certainly Barajas, doesn't think that hit him.
Yeah, and that's what he's saying. What you heard was it taking off my glove, and Cito Gaston hadn't been too pleased with the home plate umpire, Tim Timmons. Situation like that, all an umpire can go by is on sound. You can't really see anything when it's so slight like that. He felt like it hit him the way the hitter reacted, and he awarded Zahn first base.
Is Torres. He's had a big day, 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run scored, and will foul that one away. Switch hitter turned around left side, hitting only 176. Right-handed, hitting over 390 now. 1 strike count, 1 away. Infield double play depth. Rolling in at third to try and take the bunt away from his Torres. You know how close he is. They hold the bag at first. And another one way inside as Wolf continues to overthrow in the left-handers.
His Torres saying that hit me. Timmons said no, it didn't.
You already got one. I'm not giving you another one.
Yeah, but Izturis reacting very quickly. Turn to the umpire. Take a look at this inside fastball.
No.
Well, I couldn't tell. That back leg, it might have hit the back leg, but he turned the gas quickly.
Takes that one to left field. Bautista was fairly shallow. Backs up, makes the catch. Zahn will go back to first base, playing it halfway. Izturis out of there. And we'll bring you up to date on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Right now, Roberts on top. Guthrie, Roberts, and Zahn. You can text in your vote A, B, or C to 51862. The results on the O's Extra post-game show coming up. Top of the order, Andino will get his first at bat. In for Brian Roberts. Roberts had the double, triple, 2 for 4. That's going to be stopped by Hill. Up. And 2 fine plays at second base in that inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles 3 outs away from a win as we go to the 9th. 3 strikeouts in that effort.
Well, in his last 5 games, he's been lights out. 4 for 4 in save opportunities, yet to allow an earned run. Walked 1 batter, struck out 8. What he has done over the course of those 5 games, he's pitching from a more closed set position, creating a little more deception in his delivery. Plus, it's also elevated his arm slot, and that has gotten the velocity back up to 93 miles an hour. So a lot of good things have happened by making a small adjustment down in the bullpen in his side session, working with Rick Kranitz, and it's paid big dividends.
Here in the 9th inning, he will face Overbay, Barajas, and Bautista Duop, the bottom third of the order for the Jays, who are staring their 7th consecutive loss in the face here. First ball hitting, Overbay down the line. Reimold coming over, long run, and back into the seats. Jays have been held to the 1 run on 8 hits. They've had runners on base again in this ball game, and they've not been able to get them around as they've stranded 8. The Orioles have stranded 9. And Sherrill will try and keep any of that from happening here. Try and get a quick 9th and get the win in game 1 of this 3-game series. That one to center field. Jones going back, turn, and not going to get it. All the way to the 410 mark into second base. It'll be a double. Overbay with his 2nd hit, a 2 for 4 ball game.
That ball is hit right on the button. Overbay comes up with the big double, his 10th of the season. Many people question whether or not Adam Jones plays too deep. I don't think he plays too deep at all. I think I would take the percentages of him playing shallow and taking away those sinking liners as opposed to hit balls like that. When you hit them that well, chances are they're going to be extra base hits anyway.
You'd have to be real deep to catch that. So the leadoff man is on. The first hit Overbay has had against Sherrill. He'd got an 0 for 9. And that'll bring up Barajas. Barajas with a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Came in on the fists on him, and it'll be fouled back. Barajas 1 for 3 off the Oriole closer. As Sherrill, as he has done so often, working with somebody on base in a save situation. Oh, 1 count. That one's going to be fouled off. The Yankees have taken a 10-0 lead over Texas in their ball game in Texas, and A-Rod's had a 5 for 5 4 RBI day so far.
It's a nice return to his former team.
Yeah. Thank you for the $230 million and gotta go.
Just dropping in.
Yankees are beginning to make a run now for the first place position. 0-2 delivery on the way up high. And a 1-ball 2-strike count. Sherrill doing a little work on the mound. He didn't like that landing spot last time he came down. Guthrie waiting to see if he'll get his 4th win. Brian Talent would suffer his 3rd loss. Sherrill's got a save situation. Baez worked an inning, gave up just 1 hit. And a 1-ball 2-strike count on Barajas. Does mean Toronto's going to get back to the top of the order here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, and that's always something managers want to see. Turn that lineup over. Bottom part of the Orioles lineup tonight has been on base 7 times. And that's always a good formula with Zahn and Nesturis and Raimo all contributing.
And caught! Aubrey Huff.
Aubrey Huff said, I got way up on that one. He might have mistimed his jump a little bit. It wasn't quite hit as hard as he thought. Look how he jumps a little early, but he makes the play, and that's all that matters.
He'll be getting a call from Michael Jordan for his attempt at the rebound imitation.
He didn't look like LeBron James last night, that's for sure.
But he caught it.
That's all that matters.
That's right. Here's Bautista. Overbay still on its 2nd, now 1 away. Bautista 0 for 2 in a walk. He has struck out twice. And the breaking ball is in there for a strike. Bautista getting his 15th start in left field in the ball game. .296 average, a homer, 7 RBIs. He's faced Sherrill only twice, 0 for 2. 0-1 pitch, foul back into the screen. Sherrill up in the count, 2 strikes.
Well, Batista's been in a hole all afternoon. Guthrie stayed ahead of him all day long, and he has found himself in a hole again.
Toronto scored in the first inning, and nothing since. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Check swing, foul ball.
Kind of like that Milwaukee Cardinal game in Milwaukee. Nothing in the 10th. That was Giovanni Gerardo against Chris Carpenter.
Little old-fashioned National League baseball right there, huh?
Carpenter is back.
Wow. No ball, 2 strike count on Bautista. Over Bay, nobody holding at second. Breaking ball fouled off outside of third. It'll stay at 2 strikes.
Again, we talk about George Sherrill and how he made adjustments, and his deception has improved dramatically as he's closed out of that set position. Then the ball comes out of his uniform. It's difficult for hitters to pick it up. There for a while prior to his last 5 games, he felt like the hitters were tracking his pitches too easily, and he was getting hit hard because of it.
0-2 fastball misses away, and a 1-ball 2 strike count. The Orioles would love to get this homestand off with a win here against Toronto. 3 games against Toronto. Tigers will be coming in for the weekend stand, 4 games. 1-2 inside, jammed him up high, and a 2-ball 2 strike count. We will be right back here with you tomorrow. 7:05 first pitch.
Masson pitch tracks gives you a depiction of the strike zone, the fact that that ball was inside off the plate.
Two-ball 2 strike count. And a breaking ball misses, and that was a 3-2 count, and that's ball 4. No, the umpire's bringing him back.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know that George would have thrown a 3-2 breaking ball, and Bautista lost track of the count. There have been a couple of situations here today where the scoreboard differed from the umpire's indicator. Bautista was all the way down to first base, but that was a very unusual pitch, given the fact that Bautista would then bring the tying run to the plate.
He was all the way down there before Tim Timmons got him back. So the count now is 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's one way to try and get on. 1 down, runner at second base. 3-2 fouled away. And Bautista comes back and gets his hitting cap back on again.
I have felt like that before, just thinking, you know, this is not going real well here. Would you mind if I just kind of move on down to first and get this at bat out of the way?
It's not a good at bat, so how about ball 3 and you're on?
It's not going well at all.
Think of who I am. Think of my career, my children, college education.
How well we get along. Come on.
3-2 delivery, and got him. He went around, and he's punched out at first by Jeff Kellogg. 2 down.
Take a look here. Does he go around? Yep, he did. 3 strikeouts on the afternoon. A disappointing day for Jose Bautista.
So 2 down, 9th inning. Orioles with a 4-1 lead. Marco Scutaro, 2 singles, 2 for 4, and a run scored in the game. Scutaro will pop that one up, shallow center field. Jones coming, and this one is in the books for the O's. They take the opener by a score of 4-1, and a really impressive overall performance in this game. Pitching, hitting, and defense.